Good evening from Giacosa Stadium on the campus of Father Ryan High School. Hey everybody, Lou Pickney, and from behind the crest, Owen Dougharty. Owen, it's senior night here for Father Ryan. You're a senior. It's your senior night as well. And the Irish still looking for that elusive first region win of the season, hoping to get one tonight against a very tough McCallie team.
Like I said, very tough. This team beat the BA win streak a couple weeks ago. This is going to be a very tough team. Like we talked about before we just came on, McCallie only lost to NBA because they only had 7 turnovers. They beat BA. They've had a really good season so far this year. And so I think this is going to be one of the Irish best tests tonight, and a very good McCallie team. But I think these seniors are up for the challenge. This is their last time at Giacosa Stadium. They have a lot to prove still. This has been the class that, they've got the chip on their shoulder because they are the the last of the Bruce Lucier kids. That this is, after this year, you completely go into the Brian Rector era. And so I think at the end of this era, this is the goodbye almost of that. And I think these seniors have a lot to prove today.
We'll have seniors as captains for Father Ryan. I already see Evan Ruers, number 8, on the sideline. Patrick Emhoff, number 32. You'll see the other two are when they turn around where I can read their number. That'll be at number 25 and number 61. So Felix Wilson will be out there for the Irish as a senior. So not all seniors as far as that goes. Oh, I take that back. Sam Mercado. There's a reason I had that one. That was at the bottom of my list. And this is very exciting for Sam. I think it's worth noting. He's been out all season.
Yeah, all year. He hasn't even been in pads. I'm so happy for Sam. I'm so happy for the Mercados. They get to see their son finally play. He's been dealing with injury at Father Ryan his whole time. He's been here all 4 years. And so I'm so glad that he's been cleared and he is able to suit up for this game. I think it's great. I think it's terrible that Nick Watson, his injury isn't going to be able to play tonight. He's played so hard this season. All these seniors have worked so hard.
Nick Watson, that was a major loss for Father Ryan because he was their starting strong safety and made a lot of tackles on offense. They used him, you bring him in motion as a receiver, he could block. But that's the challenge when you lose a player. You've got to find the next guy up. And so that's the test for Father Ryan. And then so we've seen Father Ryan move Grayson Hubbock from the cornerback position over to play strong safety. And that's forced some changes as far as at one point even having a freshman go into the lineup for Father Ryan. It's the way it worked out. Normally don't want a corner that's a freshman out there, but for the Irish, it's James Reed, who had some playing time a couple of weeks ago. So Father Ryan at 2-7, hosting 8-1 McCallie. McCallie trying to go 9-1 for the first time since 2006. That season they made the state championship where they lost to Brentwood Academy. And you noted, Owen, during your portion there of the pregame about McCallie beating that long Brentwood Academy winning streak at BA, down 11 late, a 4th and 26, something like that, touchdown pass. And then number 21, Dane Beard, with a pick 6 for the ages, taking it back to the house. And ended up being a McCallie 4-point victory at BA.
McCallie always has really good talent. They always have. They're the big school down there in Chattanooga. No offense to Baylor, but it's always been them or Baylor. But I really think McCallie has always been the best team down there. They always seem to have such good talent, and so they're always bringing it every year. And I think it was nice to see a change in the region play this year. NBA is still the 1 seed, but McCallie, edging out Brentwood Academy for the 2. I feel like it's been BA and NBA for the past, millennium almost.
It feels that way. Those programs have been very successful. McCallie, though, is locked in as the 2 seed by virtue of their victory at Brentwood Academy. For Father Ryan, win or lose tonight, it's immaterial relative to their playoff slotting. All that matters for that is who loses the Brentwood Academy Ensworth game, because the loser of that game will host Father Ryan 1 week from tonight. So we see both teams at midfield ready for the coin toss. Father Ryan will almost for sure defer to the second half if they win it.
I promise you they will. I promise you.
That has been the MO for Coach Rector and this Father Ryan Irish team. And that's my personal preference as well. I'm playing a video game. I'm deferring to the second half. It just gives you a lot. You can build off of it halftime, come back out, and try and establish something. Okay, so the Irish win the toss in this last home game here of 2018 at Giacosa Stadium. And senior Evan Ruers talking with the head official. And Father Ryan, to no surprise, will defer.
I told you.
You called it.
Swear my life on it. If Coach Rector's going to win the toss, 9 out of 10 times he's going to defer.
Some other games of note. I mentioned Brentwood Academy playing at Ensworth. It's also Baylor at MBA. JP2 in a non-region game against 2-7 Good Pasture. Memphis, and on the West, now this also will come into play. Normally it's like the West is its own little separate thing from the East Middle, but getting ready for the playoffs, that changes things. You've got MUS, the only team this season to beat MBA, and they won at MBA. They're playing at Christian Brothers tonight. 8-0 MUS at 8-1 Christian Brothers.
That'll be a good game. We'll keep you updated on that and others.
I was going to say, yeah, and along with that, St. Benedict and Briarcrest. It's weird because they're going to play next week either way. They're the 3 and 4 seeds. The game's at Briarcrest, but the winner of tonight's game hosts the playoff game 1 week from tonight. So it will be interesting. And this one, because McCallie's locked in as the 2 seed and Father Ryan is at the 7 seed. I wonder how much McCallie would show offensively. Now, granted, they're not like a flashy kind of team. They'll just line it up and run against you by and large. But knowing that they could play Father Ryan in 2 weeks, and the question is, do you want to try and show too much to this Irish team?
And tonight, you see it for the final time for the class of 2019, their final run through the Power I. Similar to the University of Tennessee, Father Ryan's recreation is one of the most iconic entrances in football.
And here in this 10th season at Giacosa Stadium, it's one of the many traditions that has been established here over the past decade as the Irish prepare to take the field from the left side.
I think one of the nice things about this Junior Irish Night they're doing with the band is the class of 2019 leaving, and a new generation is coming through tonight as well. Special moment.
That's right. And here come the Irish.
So let's kick off tonight's senior night game. And welcome to the home field, your Father Ryan Irish.
Father Ryan makes its way to the near sideline. It was raining earlier on my drive in. It was back and forth as far as how heavy the precipitation was. It was almost like it was misting, which when it's mid-50s isn't the most comfortable thing to have, but that seems to have dissipated. They were saying about a 10% chance of rain maybe later on in the game. So we can all hope that that has passed through the area and will not return.
Like I said earlier, we're going to be keeping up with a couple of games already getting underway soon. We have some good ones tonight. BA and Ensworth, Baylor and MBA, JP2 and Good Pasture, MUS and Christian Brothers, St. Benedict and Briarcrest. I'll be keeping you up around the court with his updates as soon as I get them. It's a very big week. This game has nothing to do with seeding, as we were talking about, but there are some good ones out there. We'll keep you with the ones you need to know.
Father Ryan against McCallie in recent meetings has been all blue tornado. McCallie winning 8 of the last 9 meetings. Last time Father Ryan beat McCallie was in the 2013 regular season, although McCallie got its revenge in the 2013 playoffs. So for Father Ryan, this would be not only its first region win of the 2018 season, but it would be only its second victory here at Giacosa Stadium against McCallie. The only other time that happened was the very first season.
You have to wonder almost, Lou, with McCallie being the lock at 2. You can't touch them. How much are they coming out to play tonight?
That's a good question. Here, it's interesting because they're kind of...
Father Ryan definitely has something to prove. These seniors have something to prove. McCallie has nothing left to show. They know where they stand. They beat BA. The question is who's going to come out faster and stronger. And I think Father Ryan has a good opportunity to do that. They've got the bigger chip. They have more to prove tonight.
Back to return from McCallie, number 1, Thompson Bird, and number 3, Shannon Walker. For the Irish at the kickoff, number 98, sophomore Zach Wesnowski. Hear the referee's whistle. And we are underway here at senior night. A high spinning kick fielded at the 25-yard line, past the 30, and tackle around the 34-yard line. That's where the Blue Tornado will start its first drive of this game.
The Irish defense, I expect David Russell III to come off this line very hot tonight.
Quarterback for McCallie, number 10, D'Angelo Hardy. He's a junior, and he can run like the wind. He's also a pretty decent passer. He will take some chances and sometimes make some mistakes. but it's going to be incumbent for Father Ryan to stop the run.
Father Ryan might not be the most athletic defense, but I promise you they're the most well-coached defense you'll find in this division.
Freshman Torrey Heron, the 5'8", 262-pounder, in there at nose tackle for the Irish. Anthony Wright, the junior outside linebacker, to this near side. See also Hunter Hopkins. Hopkins playing at the corner position. 1st and 10. Just underway here at Giacosa Stadium. They send a man in motion. It's going to be Hardy keeping it himself, trying to dance around. Cuts through. Found to be tackled after about a 6 or 7 yard gain. Hunter Hopkins in there on the stop. Also William Edmondson in from that strong safety position, or free safety, excuse me.
Well, Hardy made a really good play right there. He didn't have much. He cut it back to the right. And he saw some field and ended up getting 8 yards. Good run to start out the game for him.
11:32 to go first quarter. No score. Father Ryan and McCallie. The Blue Tornado looking at 2nd and 2 from their own 42-yard line. Send the man in motion again. We get a whistle. Flag comes in. Delay of game as the play clock hits 0. Apparently
helping out Father Ryan right there.
Apparently
2nd and short.
So 2nd and 2 turns into 2nd and 7. They'll say it was a procedure penalty. And if there is one advantage the Irish could have here against McCallie, is that McCallie has found itself being penalized quite a bit this season. That includes personal fouls and things of that nature. So 5 yards back makes it 2nd and 7 for McCallie. 11:23 to go first quarter. Just underway here in South Nashville.
Lou, had that play gotten off, Hardy was going to run it again. I'm almost shocked that, since they're the 2 lock, how much are they going to use him tonight? What will we see different? Are they going to save him against the bottom team in the region? I don't know, but it doesn't seem like that early, as they were going to run him 2 straight plays before that penalty was called for the delay of game.
That's the MO, though, the bread and butter, if you will, for McCallie. And again, McCallie had a bye week last week, so they haven't played in 14 days. Last game was a victory over rival Baylor. So on 2nd and 7, Hardy, they're going to set up the pitch to that far side. That's B.J. Harris, a dangerous sophomore, tries to get to the corner, pushed out of bounds. Not quite to the first down line needed, but about a 6-yard gain to set up 3rd and short.
That's just old school option football right there. He just pitched it out the left side, cut up the field, made a good play. 3rd and short. I imagine they'll just keep it to the outside again on another option.
11:01 to go first quarter. No score. McCallie and Father Ryan. Blue Tornado looking at 3rd and 1 from their own 43-yard line. They'll use motion to set up some deception up the middle run. Well more than needed to get a first down as McCallie moves into Father Ryan territory. B.J. Harris on the carry.
All run the ball here tonight. Another thing, too, with McCallie going into the playoffs last night or next week, how much stuff are they also going to show on offense? Not only just running their players, but how much are they going to show that their offense can do at this point in the season? I mean, you've seen a lot, but I don't know.
10:37 to go first quarter. No score. A handoff on 1st and 10. B.J. Harris will pick up 10 yards. And the Blue Tornado are on the move on the ground.
Linebacker was in the position to make a right play, but not as fast as B.J. Harris.
So a 9-yard gain for Harris. Grayson Hubbock on the stop for Father Ryan. 10:15 to go first quarter. And McCallie on its opening drive of the game, moving methodically down the field. 2nd and 1. Out of the shotgun, D'Angelo Hardy. He's going to hand it off again to B.J. Harris. He'll be stopped, but not until he got a first down for the Blue Tornado.
McCallie is not really struggling to run the ball right now. Linebackers are going to have to come make some plays.
Matthew Zito on the stop for Father Ryan. His linebackers will be tested in this one. McCallie uses a lot of misdirection. They're going to go 3 wide receivers on this 1st and 10, 9:47 to go first quarter. QB keeper up the middle and pick up about 5 yards for the Blue Tornado.
The McCallie offensive line is getting a great push off right now. They're getting what they want, basically, and they're just taking it from the Irish.
Zito on the stop. And for Father Ryan, coming to the sideline, Amari Chapman, replaced by Forrest Dingler. 9:18 and counting first quarter. In this opening drive of the game, McCallie looking at a 2nd and 4 from the Irish 26-yard line. So 2 running back look next to Hardy. He's going to throw for the first time in this game, complete to the near side. Bounces off one would-be tackler and Hopkins. And he'll have a first down. Finally, Zito came in there for the stop. Thomas Bird on the reception, number 1.
That's what's going to be dangerous about McCallie tonight. they are able, you have to bring everyone in, as many people as you can to box them up and try to stop the run. You get that one-on-one coverage, and when a team's not throwing the ball, catch you off guard.
9:03 to go first quarter. 1st and 10, McCallie. Hardy keeps it himself. Spin move. Does a 720. Pushing toward that end zone. It's a scrum. And he's in for a touchdown, McCallie.
Hard run. He earned that one.
He did 2 360-degree spins on his way to the end zone. It looked like the Irish initially had him stopped around the 1 or 2, but McCallie able to get some of those big linemen in there to push forward. And by the time it was said and done, it was touchdown Blue Tornadoes. And McCallie up 6-0, 8:53 to go first quarter. And McCallie will now attempt an extra point. Holder is Chad Marsh. He did attempt to pass on an extra point against Knox Webb earlier this season, but typically he's just there as the holder. The kicker is Stone Roebuck. Roebuck also plays a running back. But his kicking skill is there. It's true on that. No good. Had plenty of leg behind it, but just like what happened against Brentwood Academy, it's a missed field goal, or missed extra point, I should say, for McCallie. So it's a 6-0 Blue Tornado, and a slight victory for Father Ryan, if nothing else on that one, that it's only a 6-point lead here early. And unfortunately, Owen, for the Irish, now their offense comes out for its first drive of the game, with the Irish already down 6-0.
Well, that's part of the thing that Coach Rector has learned to deal with. Yeah, because he always defers, Lou. Mm-hmm. He, Father Ryan, this year we've seen them get the ball a lot as a first possession. But it's not an unfamiliar territory, I think, with this team. Since they usually do get the ball second, it's not uncommon for them to be down. Teams like to come out hot. It just happens. It doesn't mean they're going to be hot for the rest of the game. I don't look for a lot of passing. I look for them to see if they can get Antonio Wright going early.
The deep man to return for Father Ryan on the far side, number 39, Parker Erdman. On the near side, number 88, a senior, David Ward. And as noted, it's typically Stone Roebuck who handles just about everything for McCallie, but in this case, it's Santiago Sims, number 46, kicking off.
That was an interesting kickoff formation.
Fielded by Erdman at the 8, past the 20.
Caught it over his head, too.
Finally, we stopped around the 22-yard line. There's a lot that wasn't conventional about that. So Father Ryan will start better than usual starting field position the way it tends to be with a touchback, 1st and 10 from the 20. Instead, it'll be 1st and 10 from the 22. Father Ryan trails 6-0, 8:47 to go first quarter. The Irish talk things over on the sideline. The Irish have a pair of seniors at receiver near the slot, and number 8, Evan Ruers, and number 3, Seamus O'Connell, respectively, one of 3 receivers on this near side. David Ward, a senior, on the far side. Sophomore quarterback D.C. Tabscott, whenever they finally give him the go-ahead, will be working out of the shotgun at 1st and 10. 8:47 to go first quarter. McCallie 6, Father Ryan 0.
The White Hats is over by Coach Rector. I'm not really sure what they could be talking about. There's no flag thrown on the kickoff or anything.
Yeah, I'm at a loss to explain that. I'm sure whatever it is, it's something that needed to be communicated. Well, they're still talking things over. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you on that. But again, no matter what the outcome is of this game tonight for the Irish, they're playing to start the playoffs 1 week from tonight. It'll either be at Brentwood Academy or at Innsworth. And if we have the answer to that before our broadcast ends tonight, we'll let you know. Otherwise, check your normal sources and be able to proceed from there. At some point, it's going to be 1st and 10 for Father Ryan from the 22. There's still a conversation with the head referee and some of the Father Ryan coaches on this near sideline. This is football weather, though. This is about 55 degrees temperature start of the game. Feels like October football, finally. For the longest time, we had that summer that would not go away. Sweltering temperatures well into September, but here in late October, it finally feels like football weather. See players on both sides trying to jump around, stay loose. Finally, the conversation ends on the sideline, and Father Ryan's offense prepares for its first play. McCallie leads 6-0, 8:47 to go first quarter. 1st and 10 from the gun. Throw complete. Tabscott will have it to Seamus O'Connell. He'll have about a 4 or 5 yard gain before being tripped up on the near side.
I like that little simple pass for O'Connell. For Tabscott to O'Connell. get Tapscott going early, get him feeling comfortable. He's grown up a lot this year, but he still has a lot more growing up to do as he's only a sophomore. I think that's good for them to get those short little passes in, but I am a little surprised they didn't go with the run.
2nd and 6 for the Irish out of the shotgun. It's looked like another possible pass. Tapscott's going to run, buying time to that far side. Throws to the sideline, complete. David Ward with the reception. First down Irish at the Father Ryan 35-yard line.
That was a very poised play by Tapscott, creating time, allowing for his receivers to get open, and they did. They rely on each other very well there. So good job by the young quarterback.
8:10 to go, first quarter. McCallie 6, Father Ryan 0. Irish looking at 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Tapscott's going to hand it off as the Irish try and run up the middle. And that's going to be a difficult thing. This front 6, McCallie runs a 3-3-5 defense, meaning 3 down linemen, 3 linebackers, and 5 defensive backs. Although you can have the defensive back safeties play up as if they are a 4th linebacker. But they've got some size up front there. Big number 56, Cameron Stewart, just a sophomore, 6'3", 320 pounds. So the Irish are going to run up the middle. We're going to find a way through that big man. 2nd and 10, Father Ryan at its own 35, trailing 6-0 early in this one. 4 receiver look, 2 to either side. They're going to bring Seamus in motion. It's going to be a throw to Evan Ruers, and that's pass interference all day. There's a collision before the ball got there. The flag
There's
comes in
the
late.
flag.
About as clear as it gets.
Well, the ref that threw it was standing in front of Coach Corey Stewart, and I'm sure Coach Corey was very vocal as soon as he saw it being right there on the 50 where it happened.
So that would presumably be a penalty. It was 2nd and 10 for Father Ryan. Indeed, pass interference. And so another penalty for McCallie. In this case, we'll give Father Ryan a first down. Still the Irish with the ball in its own territory. I can take that back. Still spot it right at the 50-yard line. 1st and 10, Father Ryan, 7:27 to go, first quarter. McCallie 6, Irish 0. But Father Ryan, with a pair of first downs, prepares to try and move into McCallie territory. It's a 4-receiver look, 3 to the near side. Tapscott out of the shotgun. A throw to the near side, complete. Seamus O'Connell, receiver screen. He has the first down, past the 40, out of bounds. At the Father Ryan 35-yard line. He's spun out there by Stone Roebuck. Roebuck comes up holding looks like he's favoring one of his arms. His right fore. Again, I mentioned this only because he's their main place kicker and their punter. Looks like he'll be okay and stay in the game, but that's the danger if you have a player that you use in that much of a physical form and use also as your kicker. There's an injury, it can be a problem. Father Ryan, 7:19 to go, first quarter, trails 6-0 against McCallie. With the ball just inside the Blue Tornado 35-yard line. It's 1st and 10. This is going to be a handoff. Antonio Wright. And he got maybe 1 yard on that one. So tough to run against this McCallie team.
Well, one thing I don't understand about that play call right there is with DC Tapscott in, if you're going to run an option play, eventually he's going to have to keep one. And he doesn't very often. So when you run the option play, unless you have O'Connell in there, I don't see how you expect that to be effective. McCallie expected it. They had 8 guys crash around him for the tackle. I don't really understand that with Tapscott in there because he hasn't shown us that he's keeped it all season.
They'll give it to Seamus O'Connell. He can throw on the jet sweep. Coming back the other way. Manages somehow to get away. He fumbles the ball. This could be dangerous for Father Ryan. McCallie picks it up at the 35. We have a whistle, though. And they're going to say he was down. Whoa, and the Irish caught a break.
Yes, they did. That was 6 the other way.
I believe that was number 56, Cameron Stewart, that picked up the ball, and it would have been exceptionally difficult for Father Ryan to try and tackle him.
O'Connell couldn't see it because of the defensive player in front of him, but Tapscott was open on the 40, on the number 40, to the bottom of your screen, the one on the left side. Tapscott was wide open, and Tapscott not the fastest, but he had some room to get and potentially, most likely could have gotten a first down, but O'Connell with defensive in his face did not see it.
3rd and 26 for Father Ryan. They need to get to the McCallie 25. Tapscott spinning, trying to find time, running the wrong way, and he'll be sacked and thrown on his back. And that is the big man, number 8, John Hardy. Go ahead.
That's pretty bad execution. Those are 2 really big losses on back-to-back plays on your opening drive. There's no real excuse on it. It was already 3rd and 26, and now you at least just lost another 20 yards. I mean, At some point, you just got to throw it away. And neither O'Connell nor Tapscott did that. It's 4th and 41.
So on this 4th and 41, it'll be Wesnowski standing at his own 20, set to punt it away.
It's just one of those plays as a sophomore you just make. You think you can make a play because he had already been made a few. Did not happen right there.
Irish punt, a high skying kick. McCallie got away from it. It took a Blue Tornado bounce past the McCallie 40 and finally be spotted at the Blue Tornado 41-yard line. 1st and 10 for McCallie. 5:31 to go first quarter. McCallie 6, Father Ryan 0. And so after what looked like a promising drive going for the Irish, stalled out, a couple of very big losses. Now the Irish defense, with Father Ryan trailing 6-0 here early, needs to make a stand.
What I didn't understand is that they had some plays going, and the tenacity, I liked it to go with that trick play early with O'Connell. It wasn't there. But you have to know in your head, if you're O'Connell, if you can't run down that near sideline and it's not open, you've got to throw it away. You can't run around and make a play.
On 1st and 10, handoff B.J. Harris. And Harris will have 1 yard on the game. Good stop there by the Irish. 2nd and 9, 5:11 to go first quarter. McCallie 6, Father Ryan 0. Blue Tornado looking at 2nd and 9 with the ball at their own 42-yard line. And they'll use motion, but then run it up the middle. Saw William Edmondson getting in there on the stop. And it was Harris again on the carry. He zipped in there so quickly I couldn't see his number. So a 3rd and 5. McCallie with the ball at its own 46-yard line. They need to reach the Father Ryan 49 to get a first down. Father Ryan with 7 in the box. McCallie again uses motion, bringing Walker to the far side, setting up the throw, and it's nearly intercepted.
You're going to make those plays. You're not going to get many opportunities to get the ball in field position against this McCallie team.
It's Parker Erdman. It's right there. But while it was a drop potential interception, as I start to see some rain come in, I can see just the illumination of the light on the far side of the field. So Stone Roebuck to punt. Father Ryan brings a little bit of pressure. Gets away a booming kick. Erdman's just going to let it bounce. It takes his roll into the Irish territory towards his end zone and then finally into the purple turf for a touchback. So Father Ryan will start at its own 20-yard line. Defense gets a stop, so psychologically speaking, it's a good chance of them, after a 3 and out, to get back to the sideline, not get too tired too early. No.
Proud of those boys for staying in there right there after, McCallie had a great opening drive. They were just running it however they wanted to. I had a score update, Lou, off of West End, but they took it down as I refreshed to get some other scores. We'll keep you updated on that as soon as I can get some.
On 1st and 10, jet sweep, David Ward. He'll be spun around for about a 5-yard gain. It's not common for Ward to take the jet sweep, but on that play, found some success as Father Ryan tries to find ways to run the ball without trying to run up the middle. Just that huge defense. Even like Dre Taylor, who's a senior, 5'10", 275 pounds. I feel like I'm scouting college athletes out there, the way some of these guys had that size. It's Division II AAA is not for the faint of heart. 2nd and 5, 3:48 and counting first quarter. McCallie 6, Father Ryan 0. 4 receivers, 3 to the near side, or far side I should say, as the throw intended for Seamus O'Connell falls incomplete.
I think it was good that O'Connell just kind of knocked it down. He's a little shaken up on that play. Looks like a little slow to get up there, but I think that was good. O'Connell just kind of bat it to the ground there.
If he had made the catch and not been able to...
He might have just been thrown around again like we saw earlier, and the ball might have come loose.
Also would have been about a 3-yard loss. Instead, it's going to be 3rd and 5 for Father Ryan at its own 25. They need to reach the 30 to get a first down. 3:40 to go first quarter. McCallie 6, Father Ryan 0. 4 receivers on this once again, 3 to the far side. Tapscott rolls to the far side, gets some protection. There was a bullet complete. Seamus O'Connell has the first down past the 40. He'll be down at the Father Ryan 41-yard line. See McCallie trying to reach in there to rip the ball out, but unable to do so, and it's a first down for the Irish.
McCallie's defensive backs seem to have that Tillman mentality to come punch it out.
Father Ryan, as they like to do when they get a first down, move quickly. Seamus in the slot to the far side, one of 2 receivers over there, 2 to the near side. It'll be a near side throw. Michael Linehan's complete from DC Tabscott. That'd be a quick 8-yard gain for the Irish.
Tabscott's pass complete to number 83, Michael Linehan. Tackled by number 2, Cameron Watson. Ball is spotted at the
So
48-yard line.
between the 48 and the 49-yard line, 3:07 to go first quarter. McCallie 6, Father Ryan 0. This is, again, a 4-receiver look with 2 to either side. And out of the shotgun, DC Tabscott throws far side. A high pass got away from him, incomplete. David Ward was there. He was open.
That's a pass that Tabscott makes a lot. And just overthrew him there. I don't know how much rain drills, they do in practice every week, but, it's starting to come down here.
Yeah, so much for that 0 to 10% chance of rain during the game.
I know. I looked at it, and right after school, as it was already raining, I was like, okay, the weatherman completely does not know what they're talking about.
Plans
It's
changed.
raining.
3rd and 3 for the Irish. 2:52 to go first quarter. McCallie 6, Father Ryan 0. Seamus O'Connell goes in motion. It's going to be a toss to O'Connell, complete past the 50. He has the first down. So some trickery from Father Ryan works out. Tabscott gets the ball to Seamus O'Connell, and it's a first down, Father Ryan.
Seamus is making plays early here. It's good to see him running around.
I was trying to use him in a variety of ways. They had the thought earlier when they used him on a jet sweep and were going to attempt to pass. It ended up going horribly wrong for the Irish. But on that play, it's a first down. Irish trail 6-0, 2:31 to go first quarter. First and 10 from the McCallie 47-yard line. Tap's got a high pass complete. Michael Linehan have about a 3 or 4 yard gain on that one.
That pass had some zip on it coming from the other side of the field. Coming all the way from that hash mark over there, coming to the numbers over here. Good throw.
Stopped by Dane Beard, number 21, who had the game-winning pick 6 at Brentwood Academy a few weeks back. So for Father Ryan, 2nd and 6, ball McCallie 43-yard line. We get a flag. And it's probably a false start against Father Ryan. So that'll be the first penalty of the game against the Irish. So it'll be, instead of 2nd and 6, 2nd and 11. 1:57 to go first quarter. McCallie 6, Father Ryan 0. There are 13 seniors for this Father Ryan football team that were recognized before the game. It's great to see them out there getting that recognition. So 2nd and 11 now for Father Ryan. McCallie 48-yard line. Out of the gun, they fake the run. Tapscott's flush. It's going to throw to that far sideline. A dangerous play. And the ball's tipped up and hits the ground. Incomplete. And again, it was John Hardy, number 8. Just a overwhelming force in there defensively. A 1:38 to go first quarter. So I try and see around the people blocking my view from the clock.
That would be my parents.
Yeah.
That would be my parents.
Okay,
I just texted her to move.
Oh, okay. 3rd and 11. It's complete. What a play for the Irish. Seamus O'Connell on the reception on the near side. Father Ryan trying to dink and duck and pick around this very tough McCallie defense, and it's another first down for the Irish. 1:28 to go first quarter. McCallie scored on this opening drive of the game, missed an extra point. And thus far, that's been the extent of the scoring. 4 receivers with Seamus almost lined up as an H-back. It's going to be a throw to that far side. Complete. David Ward with the reception on 1st and 10. Fighting whistle blows. Ball pops out, but not until his forward progress had been stopped. So play is dead after about a 4-yard gain.
It almost looks like they're playing Guitar Hero out here, the way they're just ripping the ball with their arm. It's very aggressive.
Of course, the danger is if you try and rip it away and you're unsuccessful, instead of trying to make the tackle,
He's gone for 6.
that can happen. I've seen it happen many a time. But here with less than a minute to go in the first quarter, Father Ryan trails 6-0, but looking at 2nd and 5 with the ball at the McCallie 27-yard line. And Father Ryan going with that 4-receiver look, trying to spread out McCallie. And Tabscott under pressure. Rolls buying time, falls incomplete. It's close enough to that far side receiver. I think that was Ward on the far side. The intended receiver, the ball went into the artificial turf, but it was a clean play as far as not being pass or a intentional grounding. 22 seconds to go, first quarter. McCallie 6, Father Ryan 0.
Father Ryan's offense has had some good sustainable plays. They're making these short passes. They're making it easy for Tapscott to make these throws. Receivers are doing a good job early.
5-receiver look on this 3rd and 5. Tapscott the quick throw. Seamus O'Connell complete. Seamus tries to get through, and it's going to depend on the spot. He's close to the first down line.
I think they're going to mark him about half a yard short from the angle I'm looking at.
So it's going to be 4th and short here for Father Ryan. Appears the Irish are going to go for it here. But they'll have time to think about it as the game clock hits 0. So that was an eventful first quarter. And after one, your score, McCallie 6, Father Ryan 0. We'll come back and see how this 4th down goes for Father Ryan right after this break here on ATW Sportscast.
Please keep going.
So we prepare to begin the start of the second quarter here at Giacosa Stadium on the campus of Father Ryan High School. I'm Lou Pickney, and along with me from behind the crest, Owen Dougharty. Owen, this is your final home football broadcast with you being a senior.
Oh, Lou, don't make me tear up already. It's not even halftime.
Save that for the later on in the game. But very seriously here for Father Ryan, looking at 4th and short. This will likely be a situation where they're going to go for it, not just try and get McCallie to jump. Be a long field goal attempt, and Father Ryan wants more than just a field goal. It's a 6-0 game against an 8-1 McCallie team. Very tough against the run, and I've been impressed thus far with the Irish have done trying to run the ball, but not just run up the middle. It's that huge size advantage that McCallie has. It's even their backups they put in there. Some of those guys have just some tremendous size. So Irish are going to go under center. And the 6'3 DC Tapscott is going to fake it. He's going to throw, and it falls incomplete.
Like you said, he's 6'3". He has arms, the longest arms I've ever seen on a sophomore. And they roll him out. And I kind of question it. I mean, yes, I know these short passes have working well, but he's not a throw on the run type player. I mean, I think that just sends a wrong message that there's no lot of trust behind this offensive line. I'm not really sure. You're inches away. If your 6'3 quarterback can't move the ball 6 inches, I mean, that's a problem.
After the turnover on down 1st and 10, McCallie from its own 23. They lead 6-0 early second quarter. They're going to run up the middle. Big pile of players. And it was B.J. Harris running with the ball. It looked like Torrey Herron, number 55. And they're on the stop. But they'll say number 15, Anthony Wright from the outside linebacker position. 11:39 to go second quarter. McCallie 6, Father Ryan 0.
Let's see if the defense can continue its stoutness. And got that 3 and out last time. And let's see if they can carry that here. Get the Irish offense back to work as they seem to finally kind of get in a groove going. Lost it on that 4th down.
McCallie sends a man in motion. They're going to throw deep, wide open receiver at the 50. It's caught. To the 30. To the 20. To the 10. And into the end zone, touchdown McCallie. And that was Brandon Benn, the 6'1 senior, that has given McCallie a 2-touchdown lead. And that's the problem with McCallie. You get so used as a defense trying to stop the run and deny the run that when they finally throw deep, and on that one, broken coverage of some sort, about as open as you will ever see a player like Brandon Benn, ran it the rest of the way. And it's 12-0 McCallie as they'll set up to try an extra point. They missed their first extra point.
Well, and, Lou, I was talking about earlier, when you have McCallie who is able to just run it however they wanted it to on that opening drive, that extra point's good, but, when you're able to run the ball how you want, you've got to pack the box. You can move, all these backs and the outside receivers in one-on-one coverage because you're trying to stop the run the best you can. And we saw it was blown there, just blown coverage, and that's what happens when you have trouble stopping the run, Lou.
11 minutes, 12 seconds to go second quarter. And it was quite the turn of events there for Father Ryan. Starting the second quarter with a 4th and short, they try the the fake run bootleg pass, and it just didn't work out. Incomplete. Tyler Unue, the intended receiver, rarely used in that capacity. Normally a blocking tight end as they use him, but in that case, it became McCallie ball, and then their second play of that offensive series, the long touchdown pass from Dougharty to Brandon Ben. Extra point makes it 13-0 McCallie, 11-12 to go second quarter. So now the question is, can Father Ryan bounce back? It's going to be Parker Urban to the near side, and on the far side, David Ward is the kick returners, and it's a deeper kick. Roebuck on this kickoff, fielded at the 6. Past the 10 to the 15, tries to find a hole past the 20. Finally stopped just shy, or right at the Father Ryan 25-yard line.
Virtual touchback there. Father Ryan, I wouldn't be surprised if they go back to that bootleg again soon. He was open. It seemed to work. If they get in a short situation here, they need to keep throwing the ball. DC has a rhythm. You know, he messed up right there, but that was just a different kind of pass. He's been really good in the shotgun. He's made really talented next-level throws.
It's 4 receivers for Father Ryan on this 1st and 10. They trail by 13. Tapscott throws to the far side. Complete. David Ward incomplete. It's intended for David Ward.
Ward had it, and then when he hit the turf, because it was a little bit of a low-thrown ball, the turf just knocked it out. The turf monster got him, kind of.
The assist from the turf monster apparently there. So 2nd and 10 for Father Ryan from its own 25-yard line. No score, Brentwood Academy and Innsworth. And that's relevant because the loser of that game will host Father Ryan next week in the opening round of the playoffs. 2nd and 10. McCallie teases the inside blitz. They're going to bring the heat. Tapscott throws to the near side, complete. Seamus O'Connell, but he may have lost a yard or two there.
Like you said, Lou, just a minute ago, no score out of Innsworth yet. I'm working on getting some more scores. Coach T and a couple other school Twitter accounts that we're using to keep updated. No scores yet. As soon as I get them, you will get them as well.
Senior Chad Marsh applying pressure from the linebacker position for this McCallie team. Seamus lost one on the reception. 3rd and 11, Father Ryan. 10:21 to go second quarter. 13-0 McCallie, and it's in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. I believe it was Evan Ruers over the middle. It was a strong shot to knock it out by a guy who just had the touchdown reception on the series before, Brandon Ben. Ben is a starter, the safety position. Also plays quite a bit at wide receiver.
And here we go. I finally have an update. Here's one of them up on Hendersonville. JP2 up on the Cougars 21-9 at the end of the first.
That's against Good Pasture?
Yes, that is good. JP2 and Good Pasture at the end of one. The Knights are up 21-9.
So Father Ryan, 4th and 11 will punt. A sky-high kick from Wisnowski. He'll take a McCallie bounce into Father Ryan territory. Finally be scooped up right at the Father Ryan 45-yard line. So only a net of 25 on that one after what looked like a good punt, but Irish did not get the roll on that one. They trail 13-0. 10 minutes, 6 seconds to go second quarter. I would suggest this is a rather important series for this Father Ryan defense. So far the Irish have been hanging in there, but now down by 2 touchdowns. And with McCallie starting in Father Ryan territory.
At the end of one, here's one of another score of interest. NBA up on Baylor 7-0.
NBA the number 1 seed in the East Middle, and Baylor locked in as the number 5 seed. So on 1st and 10, a little trouble with the snap for Dougharty. He's just going to run it. Somehow finds a seam up the middle. He's got tremendous field vision. He'll end up with a 4 or 5 yard gain with his forward progress. Matthew Zito on the stop. So it's a 4 yard gain, 9:46 to go second quarter. McCallie 13, Father Ryan 0. And the Blue Tornado looking at 2nd and 6 from the Father Ryan 41.
And Wells, here's another update coming up to us right now. MUS up on Christian Brothers 10-0 with 9:27 remaining in the first half down in Memphis.
Memphis University School undefeated, the only team to beat MBA this season. 2nd and 6. It's going to be Hardy keeping himself. The ball hits the turf as they try the pitch play. Intended for Shannon Walker. Couldn't quite bring it in. McCallie recovered the fumble. And it'll be either no gain or about a half-yard loss, depending on how they spot it. Brings up 3rd and 7 for McCallie in Father Ryan territory, approaching the 9-minute mark of the second quarter. McCallie leads Father Ryan 13-0. It's 8-1 McCallie. Tries to go 9-1 for the first time in 12 seasons.
And here is another, this isn't an official score, but from our knowledge, we have that it's an interesting score down in Memphis as well. St. Benedict up over Briarcrest, 14-5.
3rd and 7. B.J. Harris run up the middle. Father Ryan gets the stop about a yard or two shy of the first down yardage needed. You figure McCallie will go for it here on 4th and 1.
Well, you're up 13-0. Your defense has played well at this point. Your offense has been able to run whatever you want when it comes to running the ball. You know, they had the big pass play, but that's just one play. Running the ball, they've been able to do that pretty well. Their line has played exceptional.
Brandon Ben, who already has 1 touchdown reception, the receiver to the near side on 4th and 1. It's going to be B.J. Harris running up the middle, first down, breaks through, nearly broke it all the way. Matthew Beacom on the tackle, and that's the danger on that 4th and short. You bring all the defenders up to the line. If you don't get to stop with that first line, it can be a big gain. So 1st and 10, McCallie with the ball at the Father Ryan 23-yard line. 7:51 to go, second quarter. McCallie leads 13-0. $7:35 to go in this second quarter. McCallie with a 13-point lead out of the gun. A bunch formation. It's going to be a run up the middle. B.J. Harris. They are very high on that sophomore running back, and rightly so. Very explosive.
Explosive is the correct word. When he has the hole, he can hit the hole, and all of a sudden he's through the hole.
That sometimes you have to have that if you're a running back. You can't just dance there trying to wait for something to open up because
unless you're Le'Veon Bell, and then you can make it work.
Well, that's special rules for special players. 2nd and 7, approaching 7 minutes to go, second quarter. McCallie leads Father Ryan 13-0. Another handoff, B.J. Harris up the middle. Father Ryan's going to get the stop, and it may depend on the spot if he managed to get a first down. It'd be 1st and 10 deep in Father Ryan's territory, or 2nd and short.
The rain's finally stopped. That's a bright thing going on, I guess, right now.
Yeah, that misting kind of rain.
It's just kind of been looming over the city of Nashville all day, and it's awful.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a dreary day here in Middle Tennessee. So it'll be a first down, 1st and 10 McCallie from the Irish 13-yard line. 6:22 to go, second quarter. McCallie leads 13-0. Bring a man in motion. And again, it's to set up the run up the middle. Father Ryan getting a pretty decent stop on that one. B.J. Harris on the carry.
Well, that was one of the first plays that they had made some better penetration, and they caught him. They didn't let him get to the linebackers.
I got to stand up. Person in front of me. Got 1,000 people in the stands. The one guy right in front of me standing up. 2nd and 9. Less than 6 minutes to go, second quarter. McCallie leading 13-0.
That's one thing I hate about the rainy days and being up here is that people think they can just come up in the front of the press box and stand up. Not only are you blocking our view, but, Mr. Purrier as well over the PA.
Yeah, handoff, run up the middle. About a 3 or 4 yard gain. And it was Stone Roebuck. Mentioned him earlier. He's the punter and place kicker. Gets the carry there. Picks up about 4 yards. 3rd and 5. 5:20 to go, second quarter. And we have a whistle. So there's a timeout taken by McCallie. The 5:16 mark of the second quarter. McCallie leading Father Ryan 13-0. We'll take a quick break and be right back here on ATW Sportscast. $5:16 to go, second quarter. Father Ryan trails McCallie 13-0 in the Blue Tornado with the ball in Father Ryan's red zone, facing a 3rd and 5. Ball spotted close to the 8-yard line. Heartbreaker for the Lady Irish soccer team earlier today.
Yeah, it was. They went all the way down to Murfreesboro. Had a great win yesterday over Baylor. Today falling to GPS and Murfreesboro 3-2. our good friends Austin Wright and Jack Cayley went down there to cover that. Jack made the trip all the way back here. He's down on the sideline. Should be roaming right now. I believe I see him and Kendall Bixby down there for us.
That's part of the thing with Behind the Crest, covering more than just football. All the sports here at Father Ryan.
We wanted to broadcast that too, but just the rules they had in place, we weren't allowed to.
3 receivers on this third down. Hardy keeps it. He's going to pitch it to this near side. That's Stone Roebuck. He'll be stopped, looks like just shy of the end zone. He'll have a first down for McCallie. 5:06 to go, second quarter. They'll move the chains and then they'll roll the clock once they get everything set. So Father Ryan's defense facing quite the challenge here with McCallie looking at first and goal from the Father Ryan 1. Roebuck, the running back to the right of the quarterback, D'Angelo Hardy. Otherwise, a double tight end look. 1 receiver out far. Bring a man in motion. It's going to be Roebuck fumbling the ball. Did he cross the goal line? They say he crossed the goal line before he fumbled. Touchdown, McCallie. So McCallie now leads 19-0. That was very close. But they said he had possession of the ball when the ball crossed the plane of the goal line. That's all that matters. After that, whatever happens is immaterial. So Stone Roebuck can't celebrate too much. He's got to get back out there and kick the extra point. He's 1 for 2 on that thus far today as he missed his initial extra point attempt. 4:50 to go, second quarter. And McCallie, if they can hit this extra point, will be up by 20 points on the Irish. A little bit high on the snap. We got a flag coming in. So encroachment, Father Ryan on the extra point try. So now this will be interesting. McCallie might choose to go for 2 here. And it's 19-0 because they missed that initial extra point with being half the distance to the goal line.
And I believe that's what they're doing, is there's a lot of change in personnel going on right now, Lou.
It does seem to be the case. If they can convert here, we'll give them a very even 21-0 lead with 3 touchdowns and the equivalent of 3 extra points. Because of the miss on the first one, a 2-point conversion here needed to move it back to that level. Father Ryan, players scattering around on defense as well. D'Angelo Hardy out of the shotgun. Again, they use motion. Hardy's going to keep it himself. And it's going to be close. No good. So the 2-point conversion try falls just shy. And it remains 19-0 McCallie. 4 minutes, 50 seconds to go, second quarter. So while McCallie was able to punch in the touchdown, the 2-point conversion, after Father Ryan encroached on the, what it was going to be an extra point kick try, that part at least worked out for the Irish, but still trailing 19-0 against an 8-1, very tough McCallie team. Father Ryan needs to get things going here quickly if they want to stay in this one. It'll be Erdman and David Ward, with Parker Erdman to the near side, Ward to the far side for this kickoff return. Irish with all 3 timeouts. McCallie used 1 on that last drive. They have 2 remaining with less than 5 minutes to go in this first half. Stone Roebuck preparing to kick off. It's a high spinning kick, returnable. Erdman from the 10 to the 15. Past the 20, takes a hit. He dropped around the 22-yard line.
I like the speed from Erdman. It's nice to see, but he ran in front of his blockers there. I don't know what he saw, but what I saw is he ran in front of his blockers and got hit pretty hard there. Got to be careful. Don't hurt yourself. He's not the biggest guy, but he definitely is fast.
He's got very good, his punt return game, certainly. He's good at being able to assess the situation, but on that one, perhaps a bit overeager. Whatever the case.
Well, he saw something, obviously, because he took off, but he also ran past his blockers.
A pair of senior receivers to the far side. Brewers in the slot. Ward deep. It'll be Tapscott rolling right, throwing high, rainbow pass into double coverage. Seamus O'Connell, and the ball falls incomplete, nearly intercepted.
Wow. Again, the turf popping that ball out. We've seen it happen a couple times now for both teams.
That was Cameron Watson deep. He's jumping around frustrated, thinking he could have had a nice interception there. But now it's 2nd and 10 for Father Ryan. 4:37 to go, second quarter. McCallie 19, Father Ryan 0. Three receivers for the Irish, one running back to the right, quarterback DC Tapscott. And that's going to be Anthony Wright. As they sub him in for his twin brother Antonio Wright, but not much for him on that first down. So a 1 yard loss on that play. They'll make it 3rd and 13. Malik Robinson on the stop for McCallie. 4:10 and counting in the second quarter. Father Ryan looking now at a 3rd and 13. Father Ryan needs to get the ball to its own 32-yard line to get another first down. Tapscott heaves one up. Intended for David Ward to double coverage again. That falls incomplete. And Father Ryan once again facing a 4th down. Ward was there, but double coverage. And Stone Roebuck a little bit slow to get up as he was the closest player. And that's where I noted earlier. I mean, you got Roebuck playing running back. He's obviously a great athlete, but he's your main kicker and your punter as well. Kickoff, except that one kickoff for whatever reason they used a backup. But by and large, he's been their guy, and he's going to receive a little bit of medical attention. It may just be a cramp or a hamstring pull. Remains to be seen. And it's interesting for McCallie from a strategy standpoint, not just this game. I mean, this game, win or lose, they're going to be the number 2 seed. But they had a bye last week. They're going to have a bye next week by what they've earned is the number 2 seed. You get a first-round bye. So you don't want to get rusty if you're a McCallie, but you want to keep your players healthy.
Yeah, it's a very weird balance for them just because of, where they fall with that very late bye week. But that's just how it goes, and so that is very different. I kind of want to see how McCallie especially handles the second half, especially if they can get another touchdown in the next 4 minutes before then, because, then you're up 4 touchdowns or 4 scores, depending, maybe it's a field goal. But it would just be interesting to see how they handle the second half because they don't play next week. They didn't play last week, so virtually this is like their only game for a month, almost a month. So it's just interesting to see how they'll handle it.
McCallie also is well aware that they might play Father Ryan in 2 weeks at McCallie because they'll host the winner of the Father Ryan game against will be either Brentwood Academy or Innsworth, depending on the outcome in that one. That was still 0-0 at last check, with Innsworth getting the ball into BA territory but fumbling it away. Here it's 19-0. McCallie leading Father Ryan. 3:54 to go second quarter. Father Ryan looking at 4th and long. 4th and I guess 12 or 13 inside its own 20. And so with 3 minutes, 54 seconds remaining on the clock in this second quarter. Interesting to see.
This game has gone by pretty fast. There's been a lot of inbounds play, especially from McCallie with how run dominant they've been. But Father Ryan with these short passes over the middle inbounds. The clock has been running really good, and that's not really working to Father Ryan's advantage. We got a timeout of sorts now. It appears to be taken by McCallie.
So McCallie uses its second timeout. Father Ryan still has all 3 of its timeouts here in this first half, but less than 4 minutes to go, and McCallie apparently wants to talk things over. They had their typical punt returner, Dane Beard, number 21, and they may send him right back out there in that same spot. We'll see, but whatever the case, McCallie wanted to make sure they got everybody on the same page. You would think Father Ryan is unlikely to go for it 4th and 13 deep in their own territory, but you never know for sure what the Irish might do. But it's interesting, we got cut off because the next play started talking about scores a little bit earlier, Owen. And out of the West, you've got MUS, the one team to beat MBA this season. MUS, they only play 9 games for whatever reason, but they're undefeated. And Christian Brothers only has 1 loss. And certainly the Irish remember Christian Brothers from last year in the state quarterfinal, or yes, the quarterfinals game that took place in Memphis. 4th and 13 for the Irish. And it looks like they're going to have Seamus O'Connell in there to punt it away. McCallie's got 11 players up, so they do not have Beard back as the return man. And it's the quick kick over everybody's head by Seamus. Takes an Irish bounce and kind of bounces around past the 45. The ball's kicked and it's knocked out of bounds. If that would have gone off a McCallie player, and it might have initially, it would have been a live ball. But
it did. I believe that was a live ball, but I believe that was Parker Erdman chasing it down there on the far sideline. I didn't catch the number, as it was him and about 3 McCallie players. I believe it was Parker Erdman.
Well, it appears they're going to spot the ball. Well, I guess where the ball went out of bounds.
There were 4 guys, 1 Father Ryan, 3 McCallie. And bounced for it after it had been a live ball and ending up going around about 30, 29-yard line.
McCallie leads Father Ryan 19-0. The Blue Tornado looking at 1st and 10 from their own 33, 43 to go, second quarter. Play action fake. Hardy throws man coverage. Incomplete, intended for Brandon Ben. Hardy has 1 touchdown in this game. William Edmondson there on defense with Grayson Hubbock in the vicinity as well.
McCallie only seem to be catching the ball when they're very wide open, but they really haven't had to throw it.
Well, it was Ben, if I'm not mistaken, that had. He's got this big frame, and that's what helped them on that 4th and very long touchdown against Brentwood Academy as they rallied to win that one a few weeks back. 2nd and 10, 3:38 to go, second quarter. McCallie leads Father Ryan 19-0. 3 receivers, 2 to the near side. Send a blocker in motion. D'Angelo Hardy, such a threat to run. He is going to run with it past the 35 and tackled at the 40-yard line, and that should be just enough to get a fresh set of downs for the Blue Tornado. 3:28 to go, second quarter.
Yeah, it doesn't have to get past the 40-yard line. It has to get to the 40-yard line.
Exactly. They spotted the ball right at the 30 where it went out of bounds after the problem with the attempted punt return. But Hardy, you don't want to let him throw the ball if you're Father Ryan, but
you also don't want to let him run the ball either.
It's a difficult situation to be sure, trying to stop a player with that kind of athletic ability.
Not mention he's not tiny either.
Hardy uncorks one deep and batted down. Nice play by William Edmondson. Pass falls incomplete.
Good play right there. Good jumping, just good defense. What helped the play there, especially with no call, there was definitely some grabbing by both of them, but the fact that Edmondson had the awareness to turn around and also go for the ball helped him out there.
Shannon Walker, the intended receiver. 2nd and 10. McCallie with the ball at its own 40-yard line, 3:06 to go, second quarter. McCallie fakes it, throws to the near side, complete, and a nice tackle by Anthony Wright on this near sideline. It was Bird on the reception, Thompson Bird, number 1. Only about a 2-yard gain. He could have had a lot more, but very good reaction by Anthony Wright to get to that outside line and make the tackle. We have a injury timeout as a player from McCallie a little slow to get up. But again, we're monitoring the Brentwood Academy Innsworth game because whoever loses that one, as we've noted, will host Father Ryan 1 week from tonight. And at the half, that game is 0-0. Innsworth and Brentwood Academy deadlocked in West Nashville.
Thank you to all who came to the open house this past Sunday. For any admissions needs, visit fatherryan.org/admissions. Remember that we'll be holding
So it looks like everybody from McCallie is okay. A little slow to get up, but
Be sure to sign up online at fatherryan.org.
looks like their players able to make it over to that far side. Father Ryan huddled up on this near sideline, an opportunity without having to burn a timeout to talk things over on this 3rd and 8, 2:49 to go, second quarter. McCallie 19, Father Ryan 0. If the Irish can get a stop here, they'll still have enough time to have a full drive with 3 timeouts. Player for McCallie, Wyatt Hughes, their starting right offensive tackle, leaving the field. With trainers on either side of him. Hope he'll be okay. This is an offensive line, and I wasn't able to watch every McCallie game. They're not all online, but this offensive line, by and large, has been intact for the Blue Tornado. Part of why they have such a great running attack. That's also because of their quarterback, D'Angelo Hardy. He's in shotgun for 3rd and 8. The ball at the Blue Tornado 42-yard line. Hardy's going to roll to that far side. A threat to run, and he will pass. Complete on that far side. And as a first down, McCallie. So it was Brandon Ben on that far side. Ben, that big target, had the touchdown earlier for McCallie in this half. And it's a first down. 2 minutes, 30 seconds to go, second quarter. McCallie 19, Father Ryan 0. And McCallie with the ball once again in Father Ryan territory. Hardy's going to throw near sideline. Parker Urban nearly jumped the route. It falls incomplete. He saw that one all the way. Trying to make a play at the ball, but couldn't quite get to it. But it falls incomplete. 2nd and 10, 2:16 to go, second quarter. McCallie leads 19-0.
With the way Parker Erdman's been flying all over the field on special teams and on defense now, it almost feels like he's going to make a play here soon. As much name as we've had to call him out tonight for his speed and his awareness, his vision.
The Irish have needed Erdman in this role as a cornerback, with Grayson Hubbock moving to strong safety to replace the injured Nick Watson. So on 2nd and 10, Hardy under pressure. David Russell chasing after him. He's going to throw it away.
That's a name that we haven't heard tonight very well, David Russell, and that's because they have double-teamed him, and they have just very well contained him tonight. Because in one-on-one, if he gets off that block, off the line fast, that quarterback's dead meat.
Tends to be. Once David Russell gets a hold of you, he almost never lets go. He's got that great strength, great closing speed as well. But talking about speed, D'Angelo Hardy, most quarterbacks would not have gotten away in that case, but he managed to buy just enough time to throw the ball away. Oh, they will say intentional grounding. So Russell forces the penalty by way of his pass rush. Hardy was throwing it toward the far sideline. Didn't see anybody in the vicinity, but I thought he got the ball past where he needed to, but apparently not. So 2:08 to go, second quarter. McCallie leads Father Ryan 19-0.
And that's a very long third down, not as long as that 3rd and 41 we saw earlier. I've never seen that before.
The ball is at McCallie's 35-yard line.
With the way McCallie's been playing, they're not obviously trying to be conservative with the way they do things. Yes, they've been running the ball a lot, but they don't look like they're trying to save anything for, the playoffs or anything. So I wouldn't be surprised if they take a shot here in a minute.
They might, but they also know the Irish have 3 timeouts if they get the ball back, and more than 2 minutes remaining on the clock here in the second quarter. So on 3rd and 29, we got a handoff run up the middle, about a 4 or 5 yard gain. Less than 2 minutes to go. The clock continues to run. The Irish do not use a timeout here. And now we get a whistle. Timeout, Father Ryan. 1:54 to go, second quarter. Seemed like the Irish could have used a timeout about 5 or 6 seconds before then, but whatever the case, they finally got it. It will be 4th and very long. You figure this will be a punt for McCallie, and the Irish, with now 2 timeouts remaining, potentially an opportunity to do something late in this first half on offense. And remember, Father Ryan deferred after winning the opening coin toss, so the Irish will get the ball to start the second half.
Getting a score here would be very interesting because they get the ball at the end of the half. They can make this a 5-point game if they can get the ball back with about 1:45 left, drive into the end zone, get the ball again to start the second half, go on another drive, as they seem to have a little bit of a rhythm in some of the drives they've had, just not being able to capitalize. Some mistakes have held them back. But it's almost like if Father Ryan can get something going, just get right over the edge right there, finally get into the end zone, this could become a very good ball game halfway through the third quarter.
Roebuck lines up to punt from his own 26, and Parker Erdman set to return, standing at his own 29-yard line. Father Ryan brings some pressure. It's the punt away. Roebuck does a high spinning punt. Fair catch called for and made by Erdman at the Irish 27-yard line. 1:47 to go, second quarter, first half. And it's the Father Ryan Irish trailing the McCallie Blue Tornado 19-0.
So, 1:47 left. The connection that we've seen a couple times this year, haven't tonight, David Ward, DC Tapscott. I kind of want to see how McCallie covers Ward and O'Connell, and if that leads anything open for a guy like Erdman or Ruers to make a big play here in the slot.
Well, McCallie's been thinking past the way that they had double teams on 2 long passing attempts on the last drive by Father Ryan. So from their own 27, the Irish looking at 1st and 10. Little screen pass to the near side complete. That's Anthony Wright past the 25. Tackled at the 30, maybe the 31, about a 3-yard gain. The clock runs, 1:36 and counting, second quarter.
I think the goal of that pass right there was to try to set up a 2nd and short to where it would be a manageable shot. That way it'd be an easier third down.
Well, and Anthony Wright's the change of pace, normally the outside linebacker, but they'll use him sometimes on offense. And under pressure, it's Tapscott. Throws to the near side. Incomplete, intended. Looks like he stepped out of bounds before the reception was made. That's Richard Bryant, the intended receiver. 1:17 to go. Father Ryan leading at 3rd and 7 with the ball at its own 30-yard line. Irish have 2 timeouts remaining in the first half. Only 1 for McCallie.
An interesting thing about this 3-3-5 defense that you were talking about earlier is that now you're really seeing a true 5 people back in the backfield right now in the secondary as they're trying to cover.
It's almost a halo effect the way they set it up. Instead of me a little screen pass to that far side, complete. And that's not going, that may even got to the original line of scrimmage. And it was O'Connell on the reception. Couldn't quite see his number. Didn't want to presume, although it was Seamus. The clock continues to run, passing the 1-minute mark of the second quarter. Father Ryan looking at 4th and 7, and now it'll be a timeout by McCallie. McCallie using its 3rd and final timeout with 58 seconds to go here in this second quarter. McCallie leading Father Ryan 19-0.
Those are some plays earlier to O'Connell, that pass that were working out there in the flats. It didn't work that time. I kind of want to see, now I think McCallie's going to get the ball back depending on, with about 50 seconds left, unless it's a very long return time or a very long hang time or both. But what are they going to do? I think they're going to come out and take some shots. Probably an RPO.
Well, and that they do trust their quarterback, Dougharty, and certainly the R in the RPO they're running. He can handle that, and he's already has a touchdown throw as well to his credit in the first half. McCallie with 3 touchdowns, but only 1 extra point. That's how they got to 19. Father Ryan still trying to get on the board. So now this is interesting. This may be another Seamus O'Connell quick kick as he'll line up as the Wildcat quarterback. Nobody back deep for McCallie. Indeed, Seamus will step back. And the quick kick. Number 21 back to try and field it for McCallie, but it takes an Irish bounce inside the 20. Inside the 10, the Irish, or inside the 15, I should say, ball spotted on the 12-yard line.
Finally, a little bit of sigh of relief for Irish fans on the special teams. Finally, a true Father Ryan bounce right there. And that's going to make it a very difficult thing to kind of run some kind of option with their quarterback or roll them out. If they're gonna try to get a score of 45 seconds left, they're gonna have to take a shot deep on first down.
I expect McCallie's just going to run the ball. We'll see. But McCallie leading by 19. Go ahead.
I was thinking the same thing. They have no reason to run the ball, but then when they call that timeout on 4th down, I think they obviously win another score and just close this out in the first half, or pretty much seal it to where it'd be really hard for the Irish to come back in the second half.
I thought they were going for a punt block. Whatever the case, with 46 seconds to go in this second quarter, 1st and 10, McCallie from his own 13. It's going to be a run up the middle, B.J. Harris. He'll have about a 5-yard gain. 40 seconds and counting second quarter.
They can virtually run out the clock now.
So it's a 4-yard gain, ball at the McCallie 17, the clock running, 30 seconds and counting. There's 30 seconds now on the play clock, so there doesn't have to be another snap. Father Ryan could opt to use a timeout, but they don't seem inclined to do that. McCallie's out of timeouts. And no hurry whatsoever to get back to the ball to the line to run one more play, and why not? They've got a 19-0 lead. Less than 10 seconds to go, and you can see both teams heading for their respective sidelines. Father Ryan and McCallie be heading to the locker room. So some flashes, some moments that looked good for the Irish in the first half, but it's all McCallie on the scoreboard. At the half, it's McCallie 19, Father Ryan 0. We're going to take a break. We'll see you on the other side of the half here on ATW Sportscast. So we approach the end of halftime here at Giacosa Stadium. Lou Pickney and from behind the Crest, Owen Dougharty with you on this senior night here for Father Ryan. The Irish trailing 19-0 at the half to McCallie. And I would suggest, Owen, the game really turned on a Father Ryan 4th and short. Irish go for it, don't get it. They try a pass to the backup blocking tight end. And then 2 plays later, it's McCallie going the other way, the long touchdown pass to Ben. One more touchdown for the Blue Tornado. A couple of extra point, troubles, but 19-0 nonetheless for McCallie.
Lou, I'm not a football coach by any means, and so I don't often like to necessarily, call coaches out for their play calling, especially our own. But there must have been something that Coach Tavo and Coach Rector saw that we didn't, because from what I saw, you haven't been running the ball that good, but you have a 6'3" quarterback with arms as long as an elephant's trunk out there. And if he cannot put that ball 6 inches or less across the, which is about what they needed, I don't understand why you roll a pocket passer quarterback out on 4th down when you're inches away, when he's just that long. But like I said, I don't like to, question our coaches and, what they call. They obviously saw something in the defense to make that call.
Well, and the problem you're facing is very, very difficult front line for McCallie. I mean, when you're facing a nose tackle that's 320 pounds as a sophomore, Cameron Stewart, number 56. I have an update scoring-wise. This one's definitely of interest for Irish fans. Brentwood Academy now leads Innsworth 14-0. Less than 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. That's important because Father Ryan will play the loser of that game in the opening round of the playoffs 1 week from tonight. So it might be Father Ryan at Innsworth unless the Tigers can rally at home against BA.
That'll be something we'll keep you up to date. Father Ryan's going to receive this opening kickoff after the usual Coach Rector defer on the coin toss to open the game. Let's see what Parker Erdman and company can do back deep.
It'll be Parker Erdman and David Ward set to return. It's a line drive kick. Let's take a couple of hops and go into the corner of the end zone for a touchback. Automatic touchback in high school football when it crosses the plane of the goal line. 1st and 10, Father Ryan from his own 20.
Something that Father Ryan didn't do in the first half that I was really disappointed on is that they didn't seem to have a real commitment to getting the run game going. I'd like to see them get Antonio Wright going a little bit more here. I think they used Seamus a little too much, and McCallie finally kind of caught on, especially in the flats.
Well, and look at this at running back. It's going to be the freshman, Jaden Robinson, to the left of sophomore quarterback D.C. Tapscott. 1st and 10, throw to the far side, complete. That's David Ward. Tackled about a 7-yard gain.
That's another play I'd like to see more. Ward and Brewers are very good at running those little curl routes right there, and so is O'Connell. O'Connell is very good at creating his own space to make a play. I like those little easy passes for Father Ryan to kind of get them going again.
Caleb Jones on the stop for McCallie. 7-yard gain on that one. 2nd and 3, Father Ryan just underway here in this third quarter. McCallie leads Father Ryan 19-0. So it'll be a handoff on this 2nd and 3. Appears to be about a 3-yard gain as Antonio Wright out for one play to start the second half, then in there on 2nd and 4, picks up 3 yards, makes it 3rd and 1. The Irish need to get to their own 30-yard line to get a new first down.
Good job by Antonio right there. He found a little hole, made his little room, got as close as he could to the first down.
2 receivers for the Irish on this 3rd and 1. They try and run the ball, and it's going to be about a half-yard short from the look of it. They give it to Antonio Wright once again, and that's the challenge. You try and establish the run, but when you've got some mountains of men out there on the front line, it's just very difficult to get much traction. Father Ryan faces a tough choice now. 4th and 1 from their own 29. They trail by 19 points.
I think they're going to just draw him off sides. Let's see if they send someone in motion. Yes, they do. It's just going to be to draw him off sides.
That is how they typically do it. They'll line up and send players in different directions, try and get the opponents to jump. 10 minutes, 20 seconds and counting. And again, this is probably just window dressing. And we get a timeout for Father Ryan with 2 seconds to go on the play clock. That stops the game clock, 10:14 to go third quarter. And so Father Ryan trying to draw McCallie offside, unsuccessful. Of course, last week, Father Ryan went through the same thing, and I figured it was going to be just a punt, and instead it was Seamus O'Connell running with it. A nice gain.
I think what you're going to see here, too, here on the punt, is you're going to see Seamus O'Connell. These little drop-back pooch punts for him. That last one had a phenomenal roll. I think we'll see that again here soon. Plus, if you see something you like, O'Connell can keep it, and he is more than capable of getting half a yard easily.
It's remarkably elusive, and Seamus has been quite the contributor the past 3 seasons for this Father Ryan team. Played as receiver as a sophomore, then more or less forced into action at quarterback. Pfeiffer's injury last year when they were going to platoon the position. It moved Seamus away from playing safety, and then this year primarily as a receiver, but also as a quarterback at times, even a running back. So it'll be Seamus lined up in a shotgun. Dane Beard, number 21, is their typical return man for McCallie, and he's going to see the ball spinning high, not the best of kicks. Fair catch called for. No, he didn't call a fair catch. He made it at the 45-yard line, gained about 3 yards, finally tackled, maybe 4 yards, as he tackled at the McCallie 49-yard line. So Beard with the 3 or 4 yard return, and McCallie with pretty good starting field position. That's first offensive possession of the third quarter.
Well, the problem there was with that kick is that number 56 for McCallie, Cameron Stewart, was about to come and get O'Connell. He had to get that up high and out of the way.
Yeah, Seamus O'Connell, when you see somebody that's 6'3", 320 pounds coming your way, discretion, the better part of valor on that one. First and 10, McCallie from its own 49-yard line. 10:05 to go, third quarter. McCallie leads 19-0 over the Irish. It's a man in motion. D'Angelo Hardy will pitch to the far side. B.J. Harris will get shouldered out of bounds. David Russell on the stop, and that's about a 2-yard loss.
Hardy's pitch to Harris was just a little bit too late, in my opinion. It didn't really give him the opportunity to make that cut around the edge. He only had space to go out of bounds.
Also in the vicinity, Matthew Beacom, number 43. Second and 11, 9:39 to go, third quarter. McCallie 19, Father Ryan 0. And the Blue Tornado going to send Shannon Walker out as a receiver on that far side. D'Angelo Hardy runs up the middle. He's such a fast cut. Gains 7 or 8 yards in a blink of an eye. Finally be a tandem tackle for Father Ryan. Like Grayson Hubbock got him on one side and Hunter Hopkins on the other.
One thing I like to see from that, Hardy-wise as a quarterback, it's just so awesome to see how he can just bounce off people like a running back.
It's really remarkable is the acceleration he has, that quickness. A big part of the reason why this McCallie team is 8-1. 9-yard gain makes it 3rd and 2. The ball's at the Father Ryan 43-yard line. 8:48 to go, third quarter. McCallie 19, Father Ryan 0. Irish defense looking for a stop here on 3rd and 2.
Look for that left side, some kind of sweep motion over to the left side, your far side on your screen.
And they'll use motion, will McCallie. It's going to be Hardy keeping it himself, has the first down. Tries to spin past Hunter Hopkins. Hopkins gets some help from William Edmondson to make the tackle, but by the time they get the stop, it's well more than the yardage needed to gain a first down, and it's McCallie moving the chain further into Father Ryan territory.
Well, they drew the Father Ryan linebackers out to the top side of your screen with that motion off to the left, and Hardy just so dangerous he can move through the linemen fairly quickly. There's no problem getting the first down there.
Thompson Bird, the receiver to the near side for McCallie on this 1st and 10. 8:06 and counting, third quarter. McCallie leads 19-0. Hardy's looking to pass. A little wobbler. It's complete. And that's close enough. It probably is a first down, depending on the spot. It's Christopher Bowman on the reception.
Hardy's got that type of arm. He pulls it all the way back before he fires the trigger. And it really puts some heat on it. But sometimes you got to be careful. Like you said, Lou, it does put a little bit of wobble on there.
Yeah, Hardy's passes are not the most beautiful things you'll ever see. I've just either seen them on tape. But when you can run like the wind like he can, you can at least get the ball there. You give your team quite an advantage. 7:38 and counting, third quarter. Throw to the near side's complete. It's Bowman again on the reception. And it'll be William Edmondson on the tackle, but about a 5-yard gain. Or well more than 5 yards, more like an 8-yard gain. Looking at this from an angle. So the ball will be at the Irish 17-yard line. McCallie once again in the Father Ryan red zone. 2nd and 3, 7:13 to go, third quarter. McCallie leads Father Ryan 19-0. Blue Tornado with 3 receivers, 2 to that far side. And D'Angelo Hardy, the quarterback, fakes the handoff to B.J. Harris. Father Ryan gets some pressure in, throws just a wild pass toward the end zone, batted away, incomplete. Like Hunter Hopkins getting in there, knocking the ball away from the intended receiver, Thompson Bird.
Good play. Good play. That's all I have to say. The ball was in the end zone. Hopkins came up on the play. He didn't interfere, made the minimal amount of contact, and got his hands in there. Smart play, and it was a good play.
That's the kind of dangerous pass. Hardy did not have a good look toward the end zone, but he knew where his receiver was supposed to be, and forced Hopkins to make a pretty good play to bat out away. 3rd and 2. Less than 7 minutes to go, third quarter. McCallie leading by 19. It's going to be B.J. Harris up the middle, has the first down. And he's going to be tackled around the Father Ryan 10-yard line. This might set up 1st and goal again for McCallie.
McCallie, like their first drive in the first half, not really a lot of trouble running the ball, but you're starting to see them use the passing game a little more than we saw in the first half.
So it'll be 1st and goal, the ball right at the 10-yard line. McCallie trying to add to his 3-score lead. Hardy is going to pitch it to B.J. Harris on the far side, being chased. Escapes one tackler, finally forced out of bounds by Grayson Hubbock for about a 3-yard gain. That stops the clock for the moment. 6:29 to go, third quarter. McCallie 19, Father Ryan 0. 2nd and goal for the Blue Tornado from the Irish 7. Plenty of time on the play clock, and McCallie taking its time to get to the line. He's a tight end with an H-back and 2 receivers to the near side. 2nd and goal. A handoff. B.J. Harris, spin move off one defender, but he's not able to get away. A tackle for loss, Father Ryan. Good defense on that far side. Yeah, it's Matthew Beacom on the stop. I could hear from the press box to our left. They were deliberating who made that tackle. It's tough to see from this angle, but it was Beacom, they'll say. 2-yard loss, 3rd and goal from the 9. The Irish could sure use a stop here. They really need to keep McCallie out of the end zone if they want to have any chance of getting back into this one.
Not to mention they don't have the best field goal kicker.
Play fake, Hardy trying to buy time. Faking's going to throw. He's being chased. He fumbles the ball. It's a loose ball, and it's picked up on the near sideline. David Russell on the recovery. Father Ryan forces the first turnover of the game by McCallie.
And that's what I was talking about before the game. Don't let the Mad Dog out of the house, or he is coming for you. And Hardy was very careless with the ball.
Well, that's the danger you have with a player like Hardy. He makes some exciting plays, but on that one, David Russell got a hold of him, jarred the ball free, and managed to recover it himself and tried to return it. So quite the play there by David Russell. Again, players with that size that from an interior defensive line position can get pass rush is a huge advantage. 1st and 10, Father Ryan after the turnover. Tapscott teases a throw to the flats, instead throws deep, tosses that one away. David Ward, the closest receiver, but it seemed Tapscott was just giving that one the heave-ho to the sideline.
What an arm he had to just throw that as far away as he did. That opposite sideline on the run. Oh, a lot of arm strength right there.
That's natural ability that Tapscott has. That strength, part of that Father Ryan strength program here. They certainly have that with the conditioning. 2nd and 10, 5:33 to go, third quarter. McCallie leads Father Ryan 19-0, and the Irish looking at 2nd and 10. Tapscott throws high. Intended for Evan Ruers over the middle, but well over his head. So back-to-back incompletions, and it's going to be 3rd and 10 for Father Ryan from the Irish 26-yard line. Again, last word. It's Brentwood Academy leading Innsworth 14-0. Father Ryan will play at the loser of that game in the first round of the playoffs 1 week from tonight. 5:28 to go, third quarter here at Giacosa Stadium, and Father Ryan down by 3 scores, looking at 3rd and 10 from the Father Ryan 26-yard line. Tapscott is going to throw to Seamus O'Connell near side, complete. Seamus cuts back, and it's going to be close. Depends on the spot. He needed to get 10 yards. He got very close to 10 yards.
Seamus O'Connell could easily be nicknamed the Deer because he just runs like one. The way he just so quietly almost, the way he can just kind of move so quickly. And
this is a big spot right here. They're going to say it looks like about a half-yard shot. Now, they're moving the ball around. It's This is highly unusual. So they're trying to set the ball. And the officials are going to need to talk things over.
I don't think you can just kind of scoot the ball around like that after you've marked it.
Well, in the
This is some. I don't like to talk critically about the officials. They're doing their job. At the same time, when you're right in front of the home crowd and you scoot the ball back and forth like that, the boos are going to start coming here in a minute because now you have people like that you don't know where the ball is.
Yeah, and that's the last thing you want to do as an official. It seems like you don't have control or don't know what's going on. 4 minutes, 44 seconds to go, third quarter. McCallie 19-0, leading Father Ryan, and they're going to measure.
After that little jutting of the ball around, if this ball is short, I think the refs will hear it.
Well, they might. But from just the way it looked from the naked eye, it appeared that he was about a half yard shy. The way the angles go, sometimes it's misleading up here.
Yes, but
trying to see over the Father Ryan players and coaches. It's obstructing our view. It's going to be short of the first down by about 1.5 feet. So 4th and a short one. Irish trailing by 19 points. The ball at their own 35-yard line.
I think the refs caught a break. They got the cha-cha slide going on in the crowd.
They managed to pacify the audience here. Pretty good turnout despite the wind and weather in the forecast. And McCallie brought some of its fans up from Chattanooga. That drive up Interstate 24.
Not a good one during 5 o'clock anyway.
Inclement weather. It's strong style driving anyway up and down I-24, Monteagle Mountain. But you throw in weather elements is even more treacherous.
Especially when you get into the Murfreesboro area. That's an element of itself.
Yeah, that's for sure. No argument. Look, I live in Rutherford County. I know all about that, I assure you.
Oh, that's a drive.
Yeah. 4:44 to go, third quarter. McCallie 19, Father Ryan 0, and Father Ryan with plenty of time to talk things over. Irish use the timeout, wanting to discuss things here. The officials are always not gesturing to me. I think he's gesturing to the timekeeper one box over from us. So with the ball, it's right between the 35 and 36-yard lines. And looking from where the marker is on that far sideline, looks like it's just past the 36. So about a yard needed here. You figured the Irish would likely go for it.
And I'd be really shocked if they roll him out or throw the ball again. I really would be.
Different circumstance in this case in that Father Ryan's it's his own territory here, so you would think that would be less likely. Yeah, the roll unsuccessful, and that, I think when Father Ryan looks back on this game, good or bad, the way things turned in that first half, not getting the first down on 4th and short, and then the long touchdown by McCallie 2 plays later. That was a time McCallie only led 6-0. It wasn't exactly a one-sided game at that point. 4th and short. Father Ryan's going to go under center. DC Tapscott pushing forward. It looks like he has the first down.
He's 6'3". He's got arms that just the longest arms you've ever seen on a kid his age. If you can't get 6 inches, regardless of who you're going up against, I mean, at that size, I don't know how you don't.
Well, McCallie with those large interior defensive linemen, mentioned one at 320.
Hey, they either got to go, the linemen, they got to go under or they got to pick. And you've got to guess, are they going to go under and I got to go over, or do I have to go under them to get it? And he guessed right there.
4:24 to go, third quarter. Father Ryan trails by 19. And on 1st and 10, Tapscott pressured, rolling out. Nobody open. Buying time, throwing to that far sideline, incomplete. Out of bounds, the closest receiver, Evan Ruers.
The part of the problem was because of that 3-3-5, they only rushed 3. They only rushed 3 and not a lot of time for DC. Had to get out. But there were pretty much, 8 defenders back there. 3 linebackers, 5 defensive backs, covering 4 wide receivers. No one was open.
Score update. Brentwood Academy has extended its lead on Ensworth, now 17-0 Eagles. So the Ensworth Tigers could be hosting Father Ryan 1 week from tonight. On this 2nd and 10, Tapscott complete. Seamus O'Connell, receiver screen past the 40, running perpendicular. Finally tackled at the 42-yard line. So he's trying to run laterally, trying to find some open space on that far side, unable to do so, but a 5-yard gain sets up 3rd and 5. 3 minutes, 50 seconds to go, third quarter. McCallie 19, Father Ryan 0. The Irish with the ball at their own 42-yard line. And they need to reach the 47 to get another first down. It's a bunch receiver package, trips to the near side, one to the far, and a running back in to block, presumably, for quarterback D.C. Tabscott. McCallie brings 5 on pressure. A high arching pass, tipped and incomplete, intended for Seamus O'Connell. And it was Ben, big number 28, and they're tipping it away.
Cameron Watson had a pick, and he had a lot of green grass in front of him with only D.C. Tabscott and Evan Ruers to stop him.
Was it 2 instead of 28?
Well, no. 28 batted away, but had he not, Cameron Watson was in position to make that pick, and he had a lot of room in front of him.
That was more along the lines of what I thought I had seen,
Right.
But it's tough in real time. There's no dialing it back to watch it again. 4th and 5, Father Ryan lines up to punt. 3:28 to go third quarter. The Irish trail by 19. And the return man for McCallie, Dane Beard, standing at the Blue Tornado 25-yard line. It'll be Zach Wesnowski, the sophomore, from his own 27. High spinning punt toward the far sideline. Takes an Irish bounce inside the 35 and go out of bounds at the McCallie 32-yard line.
And now they got 3 minutes, 20 seconds left in the third quarter. It's 19-0 low. I think a 3-and-out stop, if it doesn't happen here, you're really starting to push as it gets into that fourth quarter. The way McCallie has the ability, they haven't done it yet, but they have the ability, the way they run the ball, to really run out of clock.
That's one advantage when you have a strong running game and you have the lead in the second half. And certainly run the clock down. The Irish have already used one of their timeouts in the second half on 1st and 10. Hardy fakes the run, is going to throw, and it's been complete. Past the Irish 40, past the 35. Finally tackled by William Edmondson at the 27-yard line. So is Brandon Ben. Just tipped the pass away on defense. There aren't a whole lot of players in this McCallie team that play on both sides of the ball, but Ben is one of them. So that gives the Blue Tornado a first down in Irish territory. Approaching the 3-minute mark of the third quarter, McCallie leads Father Ryan 19-0, and it's 1st and 10 from the Irish 33. And again, the play fake, throw, complete to Ben again. And that'll be enough for a first down, about a 12-yard gain. Tackle made at the 20-yard line. The player takes a bump there late. Is that Ben? I don't know what kind of happened with that, but he had the reception.
Just some legs tangled up, Lou. No harm, no foul.
So with a chain set on the far sideline, less than 3 minutes to go in this third quarter, and still 20 seconds to go in the play clock, McCallie, if it's so inclined, can take its time. And with that 3-score lead, they've been well within their rights to do so. It's a double tight end look. For blocking purposes, D'Angelo Hardy, the quarterback, keeps it on the run, slicing through the middle.
Hardy is just so fast. And like we said, Father Ryan's really not playing a true safety deep, and it's allowing for these passes to be open because they know they have to box up because of Hardy's threat to run.
It really is a difficult choice defensively. Do you bring in the safety to try and help against the run? Do you keep them back in case they decide to uncork one deep? It's a difficult choice, and there's a reason McCallie is 8-1. And that one game they lost to NBA, it was 3 second-half interceptions and 4 lost fumbles. 7 turnovers, the only reason, and if losing that one. It's going to be B.J. Harris on this second and short. He has the first down. He's inside the Irish 5, finally tackled around the 3. See Anthony Wright spinning out of that. May have made the tackle, at least helped out with it. There's going to be a first down, though, for McCallie. Ball spotted at the Irish 3-yard line. McCallie leads 19-0. A minute 40 and counting third quarter. Father Ryan needs a goal line stand here in the worst way. A modified pistol look from McCallie with D'Angelo Hardy, the quarterback. Bring Walker in motion. It's going to be a handoff, though, right up the middle. Touchdown, McCallie. Stone Roebuck. And the Blue Tornado have extended their lead to 25-0. So Roebuck from 3 yards out. And that makes it a 4-possession game, regardless of what happens on this extra point attempt. McCallie missed its initial extra point. They actually hit their second. On the third, it was a Father Ryan encroachment penalty that brought them half the distance to the goal. They went for 2, didn't get it. But here, up by 25 points, it doesn't really matter as much either way. They'll try for the traditional extra point. A little high on the snap. kick by Roebuck, who just scored the touchdown, is good. Minute 21 to go, third quarter. Your score, McCallie School 26, Father Ryan 0. We'll be right back here on ATW Sportscast. A minute 21 to go, third quarter, and McCallie now leads Father Ryan 26-0 after the 3-yard touchdown run by Stone Roebuck. Roebuck then hit the extra point. He is the team's primary place kicker. And it'll be Roebuck kicking off with Father Ryan looking at David Ward on the near side and Parker Erdman on the far side, the two deep returners for the Irish. A reminder for next week, whether it's Brentwood Academy or looking more and more like it will be Innsworth hosting Father Ryan to start the playoffs, we'll have audio only as the kick is fielded by Erdman around the 5 to the 15, past the 20 to the 30, gets a block toward that sideline, finally forced out of bounds. Nice return. Parker Erdman will set up Father Ryan 1st and 10 from its own 37. They'll say the 36 finally is where he stepped out of bounds.
Good return by Ward there. Erdman's really been getting a lot of these kicks deep. I like seeing both. Ward is, he made that huge play at the opening of the game in the Bishop's Cup against JP2 is like the Tennessean offensive play of the week. I was looking for him to have a big moment here tonight. He hasn't won. Well, that 3-3-5 defense of McCallie, I can't stress enough, has the their secondary has it locked down. Oh, that is dangerous.
On 1st and 10, see the outside linebacker, number 21 from McCallie, read that one before the ball was even snapped. Getting in there, intended receiver Jaden Robinson, the freshman, had no chance at it though. Ball falls incomplete. 2nd and 10. Clock stopped, a minute 10 to go, third quarter. Irish will come to the line with 4 receivers on the 2nd and 10 from the Irish 36-yard line. Out of the gun, Tapscott will throw complete. About a 7 or 8 yard gain. Richard Bryant, the sophomore, with his first reception of the game. They'll spot him at the Father Ryan 44. That sets up 3rd and 2, and the Irish are going to get quick to the line.
We're in our final minute now, Lou, at the third quarter. Father Ryan's got to turn it on here offense. They need a big play to stay in this.
Irish trailed McCallie by the score of 26-0. And again, 4 receivers on this 3rd and 2. 40 seconds to go, third quarter. DC Tapscott throws far side, nearly intercepted.
That was 6. Had that pass been 6 inches lower, that was 6 for McCallie.
And that was Dane Beard with a near interception. He had the game-winning pick 6 against Brentwood Academy.
He read that very well.
You can tell McCallie's starting to act with impunity towards those passes to the flats. Father Ryan just having such a tough time trying to get the ball up the middle. It's 4th and 2 now for the Irish. 35 seconds to go in this third quarter. Maybe now or never for Father Ryan. Tabs got out of the gun. McCallie only brings 3. Throws near sideline. Complete. That's a first down past the 40. Spun around. Finally down at the 38. Richard Bryant. 4th down conversion for the Irish, and they have the ball in Blue Tornado territory. Watson on the stop. Cameron Watson, number 2 for McCallie, but they're going to move the chains. The clock rolls 22 seconds and counting here in this third quarter. Ruers, along with O'Connell and Ward, 3 senior receivers to that far side. Bryant, the sophomore receiver, to this near side on 1st and 10. Little play fake. Be a screen pass complete. Seamus O'Connell, and he's going to lose about 4 or 5 yards on that.
Well, I think that's the end of the screen pass right there. They are up. They are ready. They had 5 guys in the area ready to make a play on O'Connell, and they did.
So that's how the third quarter will end. After 3, your score, McCallie 26, Father Ryan 0. We'll be right back here on ATW Sportscast. So we start the fourth quarter here at Giacosa Stadium. Lou Pickney, and from behind the crest, Owen Dougharty. An important announcement for Father Ryan girls and boys cross-country teams. They're going to participate in the Division II-AAA state cross-country meet. That's 8 days from now, next Saturday, November 3rd at Steeplechase. Girls race is at 11:30 a.m. Boys race will follow thereafter. Also want to make quick note of the seniors, the honored before the game before we went live. Seamus O'Connell, Evan Ruers, David Russell, Hunter Hopkins, Patrick Imhoff, Nick Watson, who's injured, Noah Haley, Felix Wilson, Kellen Delaney, Cody Duke, Michael Linehan, David Ward, and Sam Mercado. And Sam Mercado actually able to dress out for this game. Injury kept him out of the previous 9 games for Father Ryan, so as a senior at least able to suit up for this final regular season encounter. 2nd and 15 for Father Ryan as we start the fourth quarter. McCallie leads Father Ryan 26-0. McCallie's going to bring some inside pressure. Tabscott steps up. He's going to run with it. Has a 10-yard gain, slides, gets hit late. But I guess they'll say it's incidental. Like last week against Baylor, we got hit in the head after he slid. So it'll be finding the ball spotted at the 34-yard line, an 11-yard gain. Tabscott not only that much of a threat to run, but he had enough real estate in front of him that he's able to get the ball past the 35 of McCallie. The clock runs 11:30 and counting. Father Ryan's down by 4 possessions. Trying to get something on the board. Knock that goose egg off. So on 3rd and 5, Tabscott rolls, throws to the near side, complete. Seamus O'Connell has the first down past the 25. Spins around, still up. Seamus O'Connell, now at the big scrum as Father Ryan tries to push him forward. Turning into a rugby game out there. So Seamus has the first down. They'll finally see his forward progress was stopped at the 15-yard line. So Father Ryan looking at a 1st and 10 in the McCallie red zone. Irish quick back to the line. Ward, the far receiver, with Evan Ruers in the slot. Seamus O'Connell, the receiver to the near side, but just me a handoff. Antonio Wright, and there just isn't any room for the running game up the middle.
No, there really isn't. That's all I have to say. I mean, there just isn't. They're too big for Father Ryan's line, which is one of the smaller lines in the whole state of Tennessee.
Quindarius Dunnigan on the stop. I'm surprised I haven't called his name more. He's an outside linebacker, or whatever you call a linebacker in a 3-3-5, and however they designate him. As a sophomore, plays both sides of the ball and has a remarkable knack for getting to the ball carrier. Father Ryan losing 2 yards, 2nd and 12. They'll say more like 2nd and 11. Tabscott runs out of time, trying to find an open receiver on the near sideline, either Linehan or Ruers, but he had to just toss that one away. Pressure too much for McCallie on that play. Father Ryan has a 3rd and long. They need to reach just before the McCallie 5-yard line to get a first down. But the clock has stopped for the moment. 10-4 of the incompletion. 10-14 here in this fourth quarter. So we'll keep you updated as far as the Brentwood Academy Innsworth game. Last word was 17-0 Brentwood Academy. So Father Ryan will use its 2nd timeout of this second half. In the fourth quarter, 10-13 to go. McCallie 26, Father Ryan nothing. You know, the Irish would love to punch one in here to avoid the shutout if nothing else. Down by 4 possessions in the fourth quarter against a team that is so strong defensively. It's asking a lot for this Father Ryan offense. But I think about this Father Ryan team. I mentioned the seniors, and they played a big role this year, and some of the successes the team has had. But this is a young team, a lot of sophomores playing, a lot of freshmen When I was here, that was unheard of. Like maybe one freshman if was a truly elite player, but the way things have gone here at Father Ryan, they've had some very talented freshmen in this class. Some guys with some size as well. They can't teach that, it's like 320 pounds. That's difficult to try and maneuver. So certainly the Irish hope that over the next couple of years, some of those younger players start to have more of an opportunity to lead and set up some things for the Irish in years to come. But here in 2018, it's McCallie leading 26-0. Father Ryan looking at third and 11 with the ball at the McCallie 16-yard line. It's two receivers, one on either side. McCallie's going to bring the inside blitz. They pick it up. Fade to the end zone. Seamus O'Connell. Touchdown, Irish. They drew that one up brilliantly. They brought in the tighter formation to pick up the anticipated inside linebacker blitz. And then it was Tabscott, the great touch on the fade to Seamus O'Connell in the corner. And Father Ryan's on the board.
It took them 3 quarters, but they finally got on the board. Let's see what happens.
Look who's kicking the extra point, Sam Bricado. Now there's a feel-good story for you. Bricado, as a senior, getting to play. The kick is up. And it's good. Doinked it in. So Sam Bricado, with the persistence, sticking with this team despite an injury that kept him out all but this final game. And it's made the score now McCallie 26, Father Ryan 7. So now for the Irish. All right, it has gone final. Father Ryan 1 week from tonight will play at Innsworth. Innsworth losing 17-0 to Brentwood Academy. So that's locked that in next week, Irish fans. We'll have the audio call of this game, next week's game, out at Innsworth. As the opening round of the playoffs get going. And as much as it's been disappointing for Father Ryan in region play this year, one of the advantages of the way things are set up where every team makes the playoffs, you still have that faint glimmer of hope and at least the opportunity to potentially win a playoff game like Father Ryan did last year at JP2. So it's McCallie 26, Father Ryan 7. 10 minutes, 7 seconds to go, fourth quarter. As the Irish prepare to kick off. It'll be Wesnowski. I doubt we'll see their traditional onside kick, but you may see that little squib intermediate length kick.
We'll see what happens. Coach Rector's always full of surprises.
You're right. That's I should have learned by now. I've been calling his games for 3 years now. You'd think I'd pick up on that, but this is what you would figure at least in this case.
Here it is.
And is the onside kick attempt. You're right, Owen, but it is recovered cleanly by McCallie at his own 45-yard line.
He's unpredictably predictable, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's Manny Mitchell on the recovery for McCallie. But you're right. I mean, that's
you watch these situations every 11 weeks at least, because 10 weeks of football, 1 guaranteed playoff, sometimes 12 or more. But after watching that for now 3 years doing that, 30 games is what we're approaching under the Coach Rector era, these things become predictable. Special teams is one of the things you can predict because it's special teams. It's not offense and defense.
Well, the Irish down by 19 didn't have a lot to lose by going for the true onside kick, but it's McCallie first and 10 from its own 45. D'Angelo Hardy remains in the game at quarterback. He's going to carry for about a 6 or 7 yard gain. Looks like it was Matthew Zito in there on the stop.
Honestly, I think with McCallie's big play ability that they have and the lack of kicking ability that they have, make them go make a big play. I think they're going to, the way they can drive the ball, they can get down the fall. I think if they pinned them deep, you're only, it's a 50-50 game. Are you going to stop them, or are they going to drive the length of the field and just take more time off the clock, or are they going to make the play sooner?
Second and 4, D'Angelo Hardy breaks into the open field to the 10, to the 5, touchdown McCallie. So Hardy, from 49 yards out, has put McCallie up now 32-7. So the enthusiasm from Father Ryan's touchdown quickly doused. And that's that big playability. And this is something McCallie has seen this season. That's when you have a solid commitment to the run, you can have that. You keep on chipping away and chipping away. And as the defense starts to face some exhaustion, get a player like Hardy with that explosiveness. On that one, it turned into a 49-yard touchdown run. Stone Roebuck with the extra point is good. That makes it 33-7. McCallie leading Father Ryan. 9:25 to go, fourth quarter.
Now we got 9:25 left, Lou, and it's you're down, and your defense gave up a big play right there at the end of the game. Well, not the very end of the game, but towards the end of this game when your offense kind of gets a click, they're gonna have to. They need another big play from Tapscott in his arm, and I think a big part they gotta find another hole in the secondary like they did right there to score that touchdown, and they need it. They need it really soon if they are gonna actually try to cut this down again.
Well, the touchdown from McCallie made this again a 4-possession game. And with 9:25 to go in this fourth quarter.
I never like to say it's impossible, but it's definitely improbable if they don't have a big play here soon.
I have to concur with you on that. And McCallie is not in the business of giving up big plays generally. As a high spinning kick, you can make a fair catch. It will be made. It's fumbled.
No. Muffed and.
It's like Jackson Brown was trying to haul it in.
Aaron Crowder was there for McCallie. He was ready to jump on it, but the Irish jumped on it sooner.
Yeah, it's unusual to see a kick like that, and that wasn't their usual kicker for McCallie. They went with that high spinning kick, and you can make a fair catch on a kickoff, and that was good, game awareness there by Brown, just unable to bring it in. Not something he normally does. Typically used as an H-back when he spells Noah Haley. Haley into the game at H-back on the far side. On this 1st and 10, 9:23 to go, fourth quarter. McCallie leads Father Ryan 33-7. Tapscott buying time, throws far side, complete. And finally, forced out of bounds for about a 7-yard gain. That was David Ward. So Ward, the senior, in his final game here at Giacosa Stadium, with a reception, 7-yard gain, less than 9 minutes to go, fourth quarter. McCallie 33, Father Ryan 7. On 2nd and 3, Tapscott rolls near side under pressure. He's going to be slung to the turf. Quarterback sack.
Quindarius Dunnigan was right there.
And that's where I noted Dunnigan. Hadn't called his name all that much, but when he gets an opening like he had right there.
Hey, you said it here on your notes, knack for finding the ball. He found it and snuffed it out pretty quick.
So credit to Dunnigan on that. Tapscott, by and large, has been rather elusive, which is not his bread and butter typically, but he's been able to, and of course, Father Ryan's game plan this to try and set him up to have that. So now it'll be 3rd and 12 with the clock running, 8:15 to go, fourth quarter. McCallie leading Father Ryan 33-7. So after faking the handoff, Tapscott's under pressure. Does he feel it? He's going to run back the other way. He needs a block, but he's not going to get a second block. And be sacked for a very, very long loss. And that was Bowman, Christopher Bowman.
This is the third time this game we're going to see it where it's going to be close to 4th and 30+, which is not a really good sign going into playoffs next week.
Well, ball is at the Father Ryan 17 after that series of unfortunate events. The clock runs, 7:40 to go, fourth quarter, and Father Ryan trailing by 26 points. Maybe content to punt it away here. And while you're right, Owen, that it's not the way that Father Ryan wanted to go into the playoffs. Nothing else. This is a tough McCallie team that has been lived up to the billing as far as I'm concerned.
I think they've exceeded it, and the reason I say that is because even without Brentwood Academy being at full strength, when you're riding the wave that they've been riding success-wise, going up into Nashville, into Williamson County, beating Brentwood Academy at home in front of a very hostile environment over there, and some good fans over there, and upset them the way they did. I mean, to me, they passed the bar of where their expectations are this year.
Number 28, Brandon Ben. There was a medical timeout right there. He was slow to get up after that last play. Ben, who has a touchdown reception, had a key tip away in the second half as well defensively. Now back over on the sideline. 4th and 27. Zach Wisnowski, a high skying kick. Beard calls for the fair catch and makes it at the McCallie 44-yard line. So a good punt there by Wisnowski. No return. But 7 minutes and 21 seconds to go. Father Ryan trailing 33-7. And just a matter of time here for McCallie. And it's going to be interesting to see who McCallie puts out there at this point? Do you put in some of the backups? Do you try and stay fresh? Because
You have to.
They had a bye last week. Got a bye next week.
You have to. You're healthy. You've made it. You've shown your strength continuously that bye week had no effect on them.
It appears that Hardy, number 10, D'Angelo Hardy, will remain in at quarterback. Sorry, as I dropped my paper here. Stone Roebuck, the running back, carries to the near side, escapes one tackle, dances along that sideline, finally forced out of bounds for about a 20-yard gain. 7 minutes, 11 seconds to go, fourth quarter. McCallie 33, Father Ryan 7. You talk about these Chattanooga schools and the travel. There's a lot of back and forth just because of the nature of it. There are 2 schools in Chattanooga, and then, as far as Middle East,
and,
the rest are up here.
Potential, there's another road trip coming. I don't know the final decision on this, but, if Knox Catholic makes their way onto the schedule now,
Well, they're coming to Division II next year, so we'll see. It's a handoff.
See if they make it to AAA. I think that will definitely be an interesting decision on how that goes down. I think it'd be a good game. I think they'd be a good addition to this, have a third, Catholic team in the mix too, and we'll just see how that goes. Knox Catholic, they obviously a powerhouse up there in East Tennessee.
There's Ladarius Mason on the carry, 5'6" junior, number 22. So it's not a wholesale substitution, but some subs coming in for McCallie, and it will be Bowman. Saw him play exactly one play at quarterback when he had to come in earlier this season when D'Angelo Hardy lost his helmet on a play. It's going to be running the option. He's going to keep it himself. Past the 10 to the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, McCallie. Christopher Bowman from 21 yards out. And McCallie now leads Father Ryan by the score of 39-7.
The clock can't tick fast enough.
Well, you can tell this is what happens a lot of times for McCallie with their opponents. They get, tired in that second half, and we have such a prolific running game, and you just plug in other players. And even with D'Angelo Hardy out of the game, only took one play for Bowman. It's typically a receiver, but does serve as the backup quarterback. Stone Roebuck will attempt the extra point for the Blue Tornado. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up. And the kick is good. 6 minutes, 15 seconds to go, fourth quarter. Your score, McCallie 40, Father Ryan 7. We'll be right back here on ATW Sportscast. .6:15 to go, fourth quarter. McCallie leads Father Ryan by the score of 40-7 after a 21-yard touchdown scamper by Bowman. Now it's a player I don't have in my roster sheet kicking off, number 47. Seems like I have every other number listed, but no 47 on this sheet. But whatever the case, he'll be kicking off for the Blue Tornado. High spinning kick, fielded at the 23, past the 25, past the 30, past the 40 to midfield. And that's Antonio Wright. He'll be forced out of bounds. And then maybe a flag for a late hit.
I think that will give another 15, put the ball into the teens somewhere. Or close to.
And I believe that was number 4, Trayvon Parks, that may have been in there just a little bit late on the hit. Nice return, though. Think about Antonio Wright, not typically kick returner, as the primary running back for Father Ryan, but in there.
I think it's on Father Ryan. No, it
isn't. No, it was a late hit. It was
okay.
He's got
I wasn't sure with what they were doing with the ball. I saw the ref move back with it. I wasn't sure if that was from the spot of the foul, and now they're moving, which they are.
And
Couldn't tell.
It wasn't an egregious hit. It was nothing dirty. It was just,
not at all.
Trying to chase. I mean,
It's
Antonio
one of the
White.
unfortunate things that happens in the game that they're trying to clean up at all levels. Don't hit people defenseless when they're out of bounds, when they
that was a
give
penalty.
themselves up, and don't.
That was a penalty back in my day 25 years ago. 6:08 to go fourth quarter. McCallie leads Father Ryan 40-7.
And also, you can't touch quarterbacks now, but, whatever.
On this first down, about a 3-yard run, Marion Ford. And we talked a little bit earlier about the freshman. This is another freshman, Ford, in there at running back. And besides the Wright twins, you've got freshman on the running back depth chart with Marion Ford and then Jaden Robinson, who was in earlier. So 4-yard gain for Ford, 2nd and 6, 5:47 and counting fourth quarter. McCallie leads Father Ryan by 33 points. It's be 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. It's going to be a handoff of Marion Ford. Flag on the play. This is probably against Father Ryan. That's the vicinity where you normally see a illegal formation called. Hasn't been much of that called. And they've been quite a bit this season. It feels like it's been a point of emphasis.
Well, Father Ryan, them being the smaller team in the division, it's just one of those things you have to be clean because you cannot sacrifice in your position when you're kind of down a man when it comes to size this year. You can't afford to give up those penalties, those ones on the line.
They wind the clock as they'll pick up the flag and say there's no penalty for Father Ryan on that last player. No penalty for either side. Christian Smith into the game at receiver number 84. We have throw to the near side. Parker Erdman complete. Receiver screen past the 15. Gets a block past the 10. Into the end zone. Touchdown Irish. Parker Erdman from 22 yards out.
I said it earlier. He'd make a play, and finally he did. I'm glad to see he finally got in the end zone this year.
And so it's Erdman with a touchdown. Now it's McCallie 40. Father Ryan 13 with the Irish set to attempt an extra point. 5 minutes, 13 seconds to go fourth quarter. Pfeiffer the holder. Wisnowski the kicker. Or is it Mercado? I can't see his...
It is Mercado, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it is. Number 25, Sam Mercado.
The way his leg goes on it is completely different.
Oh, you're right. It's definitely different mechanics, but able to spot his number. So Mercado hits the extra point. 5:13 to go fourth quarter. It's McCallie 40, Father Ryan 14, but the Irish showing good fight here and certainly not giving up by any means.
I'm glad that the seniors did not allow a shutout to happen tonight.
I agree.
If you're going to try to look at this game in the positive terms here in the fourth quarter, they've stayed alive. They've played for their coaches. They've played for the crest on their helmet and on their jersey, the name. And you're seeing that fight, and you're seeing what they believe in, and they're sticking to it.
So Father Ryan will prepare to kick off. We may see another onside kick from Wisnowski. Of course, Father Ryan down by 26 points. It's still a 4-possession deficit, but now the PA announcers are telling the crowd that Brentwood Academy did beat Innsworth, as we told you about a little earlier. That means next week, first round of the playoffs will be Father Ryan at Innsworth. Father Ryan, the 7 seed in the East Middle, and Innsworth, the number 4 seed. Innsworth was victorious earlier this year when they played Father Ryan here at Giacosa Stadium. So this high spinning kick fielded to the 15. To the 20, it's Bird past the 25. And it'll be tackled around the 26-yard line. Thompson Bird set up McCallie 1st and 10. 5:08 to go fourth quarter. McCallie 40, Father Ryan 14. It appears that it will be, once again, Christopher Bowman in as the quarterback. He's technically the backup quarterback, but also a receiver when he's not used in this capacity. McCallie playing it smart with its starting quarterback, D'Angelo Hardy. Player coming in late for the Blue Tornado, and with 4 seconds in the play clock, McCallie will take its first timeout of the fourth quarter, or the second half for that matter. 5 minutes and 8 seconds remains in the regular season for both teams. McCallie with 40 points on the board already here. Father Ryan with 14.
Lou, it's been a good 11 weeks here in the regular season. We go on to week 12, the playoffs next week. Now we can go into West Nashville.
Yep, it'll be Father Ryan at Innsworth. I can tell you off the top of my head, I remember because I was there in 2011. Father Ryan lost in the opening round of the playoffs to Innsworth, the team that had Corn Elder on it at running back. For McCallie, 1st and 10.
I know you like to talk about Corn Elder, up until the now Ty Chandler, NBA, best high school running back you said you had ever seen.
That's the truth. And Father Ryan having some trouble making a tackle here. And that was Ladarius Mason on the run, number 22. Of course, the Irish had their first playoff victory of the Brian Rector era last year, beating JP2, and perhaps Father Ryan can make it 2 for 2 as far as payback from a regular season loss in the playoffs.
I think they have a good shot to do so. These coaches always have a good game plan, and Father Ryan somehow executes it, and sometimes it just doesn't work your way.
8 seconds on the play clock, 4:28 and counting, fourth quarter. McCallie 40, Father Ryan 14. It's going to be a handoff again up the middle. Ladarius Mason will pick up a couple of yards there. And more importantly for McCallie, the clock continues to run. So yeah, they'll say it was a 2-yard gain. Ball at the McCallie 42-yard line, 2nd and 8. So we approach the 4-minute mark of the fourth quarter. McCallie 40, Father Ryan 14. 3 receivers for McCallie on this 2nd and 8. Give a hard count there, and they're going to finally hand it off again to Mason. About a 3-yard gain on that. The clock continues to run, 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Fourth quarter. Father Ryan trailing by the score 40-14. You have 5 seconds and counting on the play clock, and McCallie taking its sweet time getting back in there.
They reset it to 25.
It's Anto Toivio, one of the typical linebackers in there, quarterback number 12, if I'm reading this correctly. Hard count, goes over his head. Manages to pick up, okay, that's not Toivio, it's number 42. That far sideline will be tackled out of bounds for a big loss. It's actually the freshman Austin Breedlove, one of the few freshmen I kept on this first page.
They're just trying to test out what they got, and what they got was a high snap on a shorter quarterback.
Yeah, not much you can do on that one. So Austin Breedlove with a big loss. It appears that McCallie will punt the ball, leading 40-14, 2:50 to go fourth quarter. And I believe that's Parker Erdman back to return for Father Ryan.
See if he makes his second play of this quarter.
Real low snap. We get a whistle to the play clock.
It's a legal motion on McCallie.
So that'll send the Blue Tornado 5 yards back. They'll be punting instead from their 30, from back at their 25-yard line. But with a 26-point lead and less than 3 minutes to go in this game, the outcome is not in doubt. It'll be Stone Roebuck set to punt, standing at his own 11. A high spinning kick. Better get away from that one.
That thing was a full rainbow.
Took an Irish bounce after hitting at the Father Ryan 46 and will roll past midfield. That'll be down at the 49-yard line of the Blue Tornado. 2:39 to go, fourth quarter. McCallie 40, Father Ryan 14. DC Tabscott remains in the game at quarterback for the Irish. Again, it's Christian Smith, number 84, and at receiver. These young players for Father Ryan. It's going to be a handoff. Another young player, Robinson on the carry. The freshman looks like he lost a yard. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go, fourth quarter. Father Ryan trails by 26.
And without the, no 2-minute warning, the can end here.
We had a change at quarterback. DC Tapscott comes to the sideline. It is the freshman Matthew Derrick. His first action in some time at quarterback. McCallie put their freshman in. Father Ryan with Derrick in there on this 2nd and 11. He will throw, nearly intercepted. That was Nick Robinson, sophomore linebacker. Luckily for Derrick and the Irish, it falls incomplete. 2:03 to go, fourth quarter. Father Ryan faces 3rd and 12 with the ball just on the Irish side of the 50-yard line. Jaden Johnson, the sophomore receiver on the far side for the Irish, one of 4 receivers for Father Ryan. 2:03 to go, fourth quarter. Matthew Derrick throws, incomplete. Pass intended for Jaden Johnson, got to him on the 1-hop. So the clock stops, a minute 58 to go, fourth quarter. Father Ryan looking at a 4th and 11. It's unclear what the Irish are going to choose to do here. They may leave Derrick in there. Matthew Derrick in at quarterback for a 3rd play. McCallie seems to think he might punt the ball as they send one of their safeties back. Now they'll bring him back up. Irish are going to go for it. Matthew Derrick throws, incomplete.
Now, there's about 3 plays left in this game, as McCallie will presumably just run out the clock.
It's intended for number 84, Christian Smith. But yeah, Father Ryan only has 1 timeout. McCallie's got a 26-point lead.
I don't imagine Coach Rector's going to use it.
I wouldn't think so, not at this point. And McCallie may not take a knee. They may just run the ball a couple of times.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think they can run the clock out.
We have an official's timeout. The ball is spotted in the middle of the crest, right at the 50-yard line, about as dead center as you can get, and they'll scoot it about a half yard into McCallie territory. Adjust the spot on that one. No, now they move to the Father Ryan side. I thought they had made a mistake on that. Whatever the case, it'll be McCallie 1st and 10 from the Irish 49. Breedlove remains in at quarterback, the freshman. And with 9 seconds on the play clock, it looks like they may option the ball. Ball's lost. Fumble on the attempted pitch.
Okay, now I think you might just knee it down if you're McCallie. It's just kind of just a little sloppy.
Well, it's a chance for a freshman quarterback to get in there in real time on the varsity level, and that didn't work out particularly well, but that's where you can iron these things out when you've got a 26-point lead and 90 seconds to go in the game. But McCallie will line up with 3 receivers, so they're not going to just take a knee here. Breedlove, the quarterback. 15 seconds on the play clock. Father Ryan looks like they may bring some heat with a run blitz. Run up the middle, about a 2-yard gain. And that was Ladarius Mason again on the carry.
Depending on when the ball is snapped, if it's snapped in, here in the next, after 20 seconds, the game's over. Need one more snap off here in about 10 seconds, and it's over.
Be 3rd down and 17 for McCallie. The ball is at their own 43-yard line. They need to reach the Irish 40 to get a first down, but the clock running and Father Ryan not inclined to stop it, down by 26 late. This could be the final play of the game right here. But it will be Breedlove out of the shotgun with 3 receivers. Has trouble with the snap. Gets a hold of it. It's going to be chased down. He's going to slide wisely.
That'll be it.
Be a tackle for a loss, whoever gets credited for it, but that's going to be the final play of the game. Father Ryan's already lining up to do the post-game handshakes. They're not going to use their final timeout. So the Irish will drop to 2-8 on the season. 0-6 in Division II AAA play. But new life for the Irish next week. The playoffs start. It'll be Father Ryan at Innsworth, 7 o'clock Central Time, 1 week from tonight, out in West Nashville. Anything else, Owen?
keep tuning in with us. We're excited. Behind the Crest, we have our winter sports tip-off show here in a couple weeks, November 7th. Come out and support the winter athletic teams. 7 o'clock, or not 7 o'clock, but it will be at Crow's Nest in Green Hills. And, thank you for your support and my last call at Giacosa Stadium for the foreseeable future. And just thanks for your support behind the Crest, our athletic teams. Stay Falls, we're not done yet. We've got 2 more seasons left to go.
So that's a lot to look forward to, Father Ryan Athletics and Behind the Crest. So for Owen Dougharty, everybody behind the Crest, with ATW Sportscast, I'm Lou Pickney, saying your final score here at Giacosa Stadium, McCallie 40, Father Ryan 14. We'll have you 1 week from tonight in West Nashville at Innsworth as the playoffs begin.